hopping on a minute early.
Are all the entire streams like
Oh yeah,
saved
they
to
are.
YouTube too?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I mean that's
they're
good.
They're good.
We've got what do you call it? Where all our
Yeah.
stuff's archived. Oh, getting an ad.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Who's on? Who's on top? What is down?
I'm on top.
No, who's on top?
No, I'm telling you, I'm on top.
And I'm telling you who is on top.
I'm pretty sure Biden still is.
No, who is? Who? Telling you who's on top. Who?
Oh yeah, they are. Who? Yeah.
Are you asking me who, or are you telling me who's on top? Okay, who? Who is on top?
I'm asking you. That's why I posed the question. That's why I posed.
I'm telling you.
That's why I posed the question. We're gonna find out.
Right. Right. Yeah.
We're gonna find out soon.
Yeah, dude. Who?
Oh, is this a joke? Am I?
I'm telling you not. Who is on top?
Am I missing something? Like.
No, dude. I'm telling you who is on top.
Who is? He is on top.
Who? No, dude. Like, who is on top? It's who.
I'm gonna end stream if you don't shut the fuck up. Like, uh-oh. I got a Trump ad.
So, Cody, who's on top?
I'm gonna fucking kill myself. You're gonna make me fucking kill myself. I already want to kill myself, right? I had some dick fucking call me at work today. Tried to schedule a meeting with this guy, and he fucking called, I talked to his secretary at like 10 a.m. and she's like, okay, cool, see you Wednesday. This fucking jerk off calls me at 4 o'clock, right when I'm winding down for the day. This fucking dick calls me and is like, what the fuck is he like? I'm quoting verbatim. He was like, what the hell do you want to come to my facility for? And I was like, I work for your insurance company. I'm just here to do a loss control visit. He goes, yeah, what the hell is that? I was like, okay. It's just I go to your business. I have a quick meeting with you. I just take a look around and I give a risk evaluation to our underwriter, and it can help help coordinate pricing on your account. He goes, I never had one of these before, and I was like, yeah, cause I had to calm down. Take a deep breath and say, well, it's because typically loss control is done for accounts that pay us premium $50,000 or above. You are at 46,000. You are just barely on that. There was something that piqued the underwriter's interest they wanted to look at. Like, that's typically why you never. And oh my god, I was going back and forth with this guy, and it got to the point where I was just like, all right, listen, are we having the meeting or not? Like, am I meeting you or not? And he was like, yeah. All right. He's like, all right, you can. And I was like, was this hard? It's like pulling teeth, dude. I swear to God, sometimes people talk about like entrepreneurs and business owners, like they're top. Sometimes dealing with a business owner is like dealing with a fucking child. Like, it's like, so these people think that
because they're used to having everything their way.
Yeah,
they want everything their way.
I don't care.
They've been the boss literally their entire life. They don't know what it's like to have to deal with.
And
like,
I've literally I was like, this is a standard practice for commercial insurance. Like, you're just on the cusp of it, and I guess there's something they want to take a look at. So I'm just gonna meet with you. It'll take no more than an hour. He's like, well, you're not getting a fucking hour. And I was like, all right, I'll do a half hour. I'll speed this up. I'll walk in. We won't bullshit all. I'll walk in. I'll get the shit done and leave. But
You know what you should have said. No, you know what you should have said. You know what you should have said. You should have said like, "Hey man, listen. Do you like insurance? Do you like
yeah,
having
because I could
insurance?
honestly, because
Like
he's
in the event
lucky,
of a loss,
because
you
he's
want to be
lucky, dude. I could have
covered."
fucking hung up on him, and I could have just called the underwriter and said he's being a dick, and we could have dropped him. Like I kept my cool, and I talked him down, like. But I could have just said, all right, you know what, have a good one. And I could have called the underwriter and said, all right, fuck this guy, he won't let me. I could have just said he won't let me visit, and then they go, all right, we'll drop him. Like,
Yeah, dude. Dude. Just say like, "Hey, I tried. I tried to schedule a meeting. He said he didn't want to have me come in and evaluate, so therefore we can't assess any risk. So what's the point of
exactly.
even covering?"
So that's yeah. So that's again. It's about so remember that. So when somebody talks about like entrepreneurs and small business owners, yeah, a lot of them are fucking man children, and
Cody has
yep, a lot
anecdotal
of them
evidence to support the premise that all business
I
owners
said a lot
are
of them
fucking children.
I think I said some of them are fucking man children, and they just love to just yell at strangers on the phone like a fucking dumbass boomer. Because I know he was a fucking dumb boomer. Hope I.
Because that's how business is done. That's how you
Yeah,
get
exactly.
business done.
Just being a. Because he was like, he's like, I provide top service to my customers, and you're taking on my time, and I don't think you're treating me well as a customer. And I wanted to say like, well, listen, all right, listen, you pay us $45,000 a year, all right. Listen, that's fucking chump change, all right. Do you know what company you're dealing with? This is fucking chump change, all right. Like this account, dude. We could fucking kick you off right now and not even think twice about it. Like your business is fucking chump change to us, like. But no, I said, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I'm just doing my job. I got a list, and you're on it, and I called out to you. Like, you're on a list, because I'm going out to Omaha already on Wednesday. I have another visit in Omaha for, a larger risk. But I was like, oh, I got some time in the afternoon. Let me squeeze in a small one. So I find a list of small ones, and I give them a call, and then this is what I fucking get. Blows up in my...
This is
Yeah, I wanted to try to get 2 stops done because because we have what's called production points and we have to hit 10, and this visit will be my 9th, and then I have like another report I gotta finish up will be my 10th, so I'll be like right on the median, the median for this month. I was trying to get like 11 or 12, and that's what I get for work. So this is the thanks I get for working overtime. Yeah. Absolute fucking cock.
Dude, that's one thing I'm going to like about being an actuary is that I will probably seldom have to deal with like anybody outside of like my own office. I won't have to deal with customer relations. I won't have to do like on-site reviews. The most I'll be doing as like a entry level actuary is just pulling data for real actuaries.
Pretty much. I would say basically for the first like 4 or 5 years of your career, you're just gonna be a spreadsheet monkey. So get used to it.
Yep.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, because typically I do enjoy working with other, because most of the time I'm dealing with people that run like, I don't know, multi-million-dollar businesses. Like they're paying us like $300,000 to $400,000 a year. Like for their premium, and usually a lot of times like. I get like the underwriter contacts me to do this. Is hey, I got a new account, or hey, we're like we got a prospect. Like hey, I want you to go out there and look. You know what I mean? So like, and they put me in touch with them. I don't have to cold call. Like this one was a cold call. It's just like hey, I'm Cody. I'm your loss control rep. Can I come and look out? Not like that. Like they like we you know what I mean? So like I even have a conference before I meet with them. So like it's a whole big thing, and I like that. But sometimes cold calling those fucking little small ass businesses in the middle of fucking nowhere, Iowa, give me the hardest fucking time. Like, yeah, like just last one I had it was a virtual one because we have a virtual tool. I had a company that makes die cast. You know what a die cast is?
Yeah, it's like for threading
Kind
bolts,
of.
right?
It's basically like a large punch press for. Well, these ones are massive. They're like they're for the auto industry. Like this company we might end up writing. It's like a couple $100,000. They make engine blocks and die casts for GM, Tesla, Rolls-Royce, like big stuff. You know what I mean? I love to, and I love like the talk. I was having a conference with the guy. I fucking loved it. But like these little fucking dipshits that are sprinkled across rural states that I'm just like, hey, and this was like a fucking carpet bit, like carpet. It's like they install carpets, and I was just like, can I just come take a look? And this motherfucker was yelling me on the phone, saying that I'm wasting his time. He was like, I can tell you're a young amateur, and I was like, I wanted to just, I was biting my tongue, dude.
Whoa. If somebody brings up my age to me, if somebody says that I'm incompetent or they just completely write me off, like
Yep.
total credibility wise, because I'm younger than them, I'll completely shut it off because they are actually cognitively unable to like hold an actual conversation. If that's like the bar for them, like, oh, I'm not gonna take this interaction seriously because this person's younger than me. Like, dude, you're probably just really you're just really ashamed. You're really insecure that you never like grew out of that childhood mental state. So you project and take it out on the younger generation.
I was just like, okay, like, well, I can't just tell him to fuck off. Like,
Oh, dude, if he would have called me like a youngin or like a millennial on the phone, I would have said like, okay, have a good day. I hope you're like not having insurance.
Hey, yeah, you got 2 months to find it. You got, because I think we give them like a 3-month notice or something like that, or we give them like a month or two notice. You know, it's not or 90. I think it's like a 90-day notice. So hey, hope you got 90 days. Find a new policy. Like, let's see. Oh, addressing some shit. Working a grocery store cashier in redneck country made me hate old men even more. Yep, because got hit on by old men old enough to be my father. Yep, had to deal with the dumbest people. I worked as a grocery store cashier, and I can tell you the same thing. I've had people that, come through my line drunk, and they don't, and I'm trying to, and they can't figure out how to swipe their card, and they're blaming me for it not working. Like, they're like missing the fucking thing, and they're like, dunk on the thing. They're like, why isn't this fucking working? And I'm like, you didn't swipe your card. They're like, I'm swiping the fucking card. You're fucking with me. And I was like, like, and here I am making fucking $8 an hour. I'm like 16, and I'm like,
yeah, dude, the old people, they're just a very abrasive people. They're extremely hard to interact with and kind of like maintain a veneer of like, just, hey, I'm happy to be here, happy to serve you, sir. That's why if you have like genuine experience in like a customer service setting, you probably hate old people.
What is that? Popcorn. Who's gonna win the election? Oh yeah, sorry for bullshitting. We started at 8, and we always like to bullshit for a little bit. And I had a shitty day, so I was covering that. So who's gonna win the election? Not 100% sure, but we're leaning toward Biden. Most of the evidence is pointing toward Biden, but I mean, it's always still up in the air. You know, it can never be 110% sure, but it's looking like Biden may win. Let's see. I used to bag groceries at Kroger when young people would demand me to take their groceries out for them. Like, no, bro, you're literally perfectly capable. I never had that, dude. Young people were always, like, super fine. Or a lot of times they didn't even want to talk. I'd just be like, hi. They'd be like, hey. And, like, that's it. And then I would just say, have a good one. They go, thanks. And then they'd just leave. like they just didn't want to say anything, and they just bag their shit. But it's like, old people were always the ones that are like, okay, I need this bag here, and I need this bag with this, and I'm gonna use $20 cash, and then I'm gonna put the remaining $50 on my card. Like, they're the ones that do fucking complicated shit. And I want I want a paper bag inside of a plastic bag, and then double the plastic bag. But make sure you pack them light. I only put like 1 jar of pasta sauce in each bag. Lux, you're back. What's up? Oh, Lux, I forgot to make you a VIP. I'm gonna make you a VIP. Since he was our first debate, I will make him a VIP. How's the other book? You know what, Josh, you're right. What's good? Not much is going good. Old people always force convos. Yeah, they do. That's why I'm a self-checkout guy. Oh, dude, the grocery store right down the block from me. Get this.
It's not that they always, just before you start telling that story, it's not that they always try to like start a conversation, because sometimes I'll just BS with like somebody that, like, you know, some customer service worker that I'm like, you know, in line for. It's just that their conversation is always like politically charged. Like they always have to like bring up like current events, or like they have to be dunking on like the stupid libtards, like, oh, this coronavirus, they're going all overboard, the economy's wrecked, whatever. Like, dude, I'm glad you're conservative. Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy for you, but you don't have to talk about it. Like, hasn't anybody sat you down and said like, whenever you hold a conversation with somebody you don't know, that there's those two big things you want to stay away from. Religion and politics. For some reason, the only people that don't seem to understand that role are the people that tell you that at a young age.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say no. The grocery store down the block from me totally got rid of checkout aisles. It's all self checkout. The whole thing is self checkout now. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, really?
It's great. This gives me more options to self checkout. It's great. I'm happy about it.
What my jobs? What about the jobs?
They stand there, and you know what I mean. Instead of just.
Nope, doesn't matter.
No,
dude.
they didn't lose any jobs.
Automation
They're still there.
bad.
Okay, a lot of.
Nope, dude, automation. Nope. No. Automation bad,
right.
dude. Prove me wrong.
Hey, automation is good. If the workers control the means of production, then automation is fucking banging, dude. Hang on, let's see. All right, let's see. Sub Lux, you silly goose. Lux is a silly goose, silly Billy. How do I wearing my feminist necklace to work, so I get roasted and toasted? Follower goal 64. Oh, it's actually at 69, I think. Actually, I gotta reset that. It was. Yeah, dude, we hit the sex number. We hit the sex number for our followers.
And the follower goal is actually like 100, but it's like right on the edge, right side of the screen, so it might be cut off for you. Trump only garnished 7% in North Carolina in 2016. He's already up to 14% in 2020. Popcorn. Or wait, what? Oh, you were just adding him.
Did I change it to? Oh wait, it's not working. It's not. I messed it up. Fuck. No, it's not working.
I mean, as much as people want to read into early election counts in in swing states like North Carolina, we're not going to get a clear idea of who won until like a couple days after the election. North Carolina's probably going to go to Biden, but if you're looking like Florida, Georgia, all those like Republican leaning swing states, we're going to have no idea who won them until probably like a couple days after election.
All African Americans are North Carolina. Well, yeah, they're just pointing out one state. You have to remember a good 40% of the Republicans are expected to come election. Yeah, again, that's what we're saying. That's what we're going through with some of the early voting. Yeah, that's kind of what we're covering. I mean, obviously the election is underway. This isn't like the win yet. Like we're going over like some of the margins that are coming up. Is this the site that had? No, there was one site I looked at earlier this morning, and it looked great. Or it had some great graphs. You know me, I like graphs. I don't like to read. Reading's not poggers. No one has ever secured the dub by winning or by reading. That's not it. Nah, I never trust CNN.
Trump's going to win the election. You can't call it this early. You literally can't. Most states don't even give you like a bipartisan breakdown of the who voted early and who didn't. They literally just give you a number. Like Pennsylvania, for instance, they'll probably put out a number here within like the next couple days of how many people mailed in their ballots. But I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to like make a distinction between like Republican ballots or Democratic ballots.
Hang on, okay, please. Yes, it's the Washington Post. Again, I'm glad.
I have that same article up.
Yep, I'm glad it didn't block me out because I was worried it was going to. Because again, maybe dude, we should just for like we should get this channel and then form an LLC and then write off and then like order a bunch of these subscriptions to like the New York Times so we could get like these nice graphs, and then we'll just write it off as a business expense.
I just actually subscribed to the Washington Post today.
How much is it?
Yeah. It's $1 for 4 weeks, and then I think it's like $29 a year.
Not bad. Anyway, so yeah, just want to check the early voting because a lot of the because I think it was a lot of the West Coast because I mean the early voting is fine because and the West Coast mostly does mail-in voting to begin with, like Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Utah, like these states. And I think Colorado too. These states here have had like mail-in voting forever. Like most of the people that live here, like I've always said, like that like
Yeah, that's
yeah.
literally
I'll say
just
like
how
my
they
boss
vote.
is from Utah, and he's like said the same thing. Like growing up, like that's how you voted. You didn't go to a polling place. You mailed in your ballot. But a lot of these Midwest and like Rust Belt states, like these are all have record mass massive record mail-in voting. Like Minnesota here, the early votes here, there were 586,000, and this year we're already at 1.2 million there. Same with Missouri, Kentucky, yeah, like flat out doubling. Yeah, Texas, yeah, 4 point. What's up?
Hey, wait, Cody, wait. Why is there a thing on the? It
Yeah,
says
I was
my
trying to
sample
fix it.
goal
I
in
was trying to
between like
fix it
two
and I gave up.
faces.
Let's just get rid of it for now. I was trying to fix it and I just gave up.
Yeah, why would
Because I thought
that up
maybe
there?
because I thought maybe if I left it there, it would like the Streamlabs would refresh and fix it, but it didn't. So forget it. Anyway, yeah, and a couple of I think like New York, yeah, they also did a lot of early voting to begin with. So like these states here, typically, um, vote they early voted a lot anyway. The level of turnout they're getting. Let's see. Polls only tell so much, but so far Biden is trending hard. Yeah, yeah, better than.
I don't even want to. He's not even trending that hard. At least I don't think, based on what I've seen. Again, based on the states that are actually telling you, like, hey, this is what we're seeing, like as far as like the how what the population is comprised of, like who's voting Democrat or
Yeah,
Republican.
yeah. Like here's oh yeah, like these are the battlegrounds in 2016. So like all the swing states, all your Floridas, Pennsylvanias, Michigans, Wisconsin, Arizona, all these ones. Yeah, only 30 million people voted early there. Now it's doubled, dude. It doubled. Like we're seeing a record early voting. Yeah, this is what I like. I think this is what I wanted to see. No. Where's the one that had the? God damn it! I can't find it. It was the one that had this nice one. That was It was really nice. It was comparing like the margin that they said Joe Biden had to like the margin he has now. That's what I wanted to see. Because he's still up in all these places. Like he's still ahead, but he doesn't have as solid of a lead as predicted. So I wanted to go over that. Son of a.
I feel like all these polls, just because you bring that up, like we're like just now accustomed to Biden being up like plus 13, plus 12, plus 10. I think 538 has him like it's either like 9.9 or 10. Like that's just like the consensus of the polls. He's up like around 10 points. So whenever we see these voting numbers and we see a poll like for instance that says like he's up 5, that just like scares the shit out of us because we're used to him being up by so much that him being up by within the margin of error is just a
Yeah.
scary sight.
Oh hey, who sent that? Popcorn. Hey, thanks for sending the link. But I was to say, yeah, no, this isn't exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, this is just like about the election in general. Um, this is still polls. Let's see. Um, anyway, I was looking for what is it? Because there was it was just talking about because I think they had Biden up by like 10 points or something in Nevada, but now he's only up by like 3 or something like that. So like again, he's still up in most of these places. But it's just that it's not as a huge gap as we thought.
Yeah, it's not even we can't even say the gap isn't where we thought it would be because we're literally going day by day still 10 days out from the actual election. You can't definitively say if it's trending in Biden's way, okay, well, maybe the pollsters were right. If it's not, then they're saying like, okay, we're wrong. We've literally never seen a early election turnout like this, so we literally do not know what to expect. So to say anything decisive at this point 9 days out is to just it's just you have no precedent to base it on.
This I found ironic that Democrats or Republicans were the ones railing against the early vote and mail-in ballots and all that kind of stuff. But hey, they're turning out to vote early too. Like, I mean, yeah, like I mean, talk about like kind of
Well, that could also be. I know Republicans, specifically in Florida, are leaning heavily toward Biden. Like that's one of the states where a lot of like registered Republicans are, are going in and voting for Biden, or at least saying that they're polling in favor of Biden. I should say. I shouldn't say they're voting for Biden.
Let's see, Joe. The
Pollsters can be unbelievably off and can just say they were wrong
and hold,
because of
let me
COVID and some other factors. Yeah, I mean they're gonna be wrong. Like I mean I hate to bring it up, but 2016 scared the shit out of
hold
everybody
on.
because they're like, oh my god, the polls can be wrong. The polls weren't that wrong. It's just how they interpret the polls,
Yeah, no, I
especially the
was gonna
state
say
polls.
the polls weren't wrong. The pundits were. The polls were not wrong. They got it. They like the actual like national polls that predicted the popular vote were pretty spot on predicting Clinton winning the popular vote.
They got it like
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
right
But
on
the
it.
pundits that looked at that data and made their own assumptions about it, they were wrong. Like the polls were completely right. It's just based on the data they were given. Like leading up to it, they were not the polls weren't wrong. The pundits were on all the major news networks and all that.
And again, it's going to be really hard to interpret an election just based on national poll numbers because we have something called an electoral college. It is basically an arbitrary filter through which all votes in each state are passed through. And just because a candidate is up nationally does not necessarily mean that that maps onto an electoral victory. It happened with Bush. It happened with Trump. And there's a good chance it could happen with Trump
Good
again.
shot. Oh, yeah. I'm very mad I can't find that article. Maybe it was NPR. Yes. No, this is just the absentee ballots from 2016 to now, and they're pretty fucking big.
Joe Biden thinks he's going against George Bush. Well, that one, man. Have you been watching Fox News? Have you been? What have you been watching while you weren't watching us? Because you did take a little bit of a break there. Yeah, I feel like you were watching some questionable stuff. Because isn't it don't you find it weird that whenever Joe Biden throws out a name like George in the context built within the framework of being interviewed by George Lopez, maybe like he isn't referring to who he's running against. I mean, Republicans, the conservative media are literally just gasping for air. They're just trying to just cling on to anything that they could get at this point.
This one's a little bit better because it gives you the percentage on all these states. Or where's that map? Where's that nice little map they had? Yeah. If you look at if you go to Iowa, do 803% of the level in 2016. Pennsylvania 172%. Texas 193%. Yeah, massive surge in early voting in all these states. And Iowa looks like it's actually the biggest.
Was that
looks
Iowa
like it's the
early
highest
votes?
in the nation as I'm looking through. Yes, 803% of their level of 2016. So not they didn't. Yeah,
Wow.
everybody. Well, I mean, I get it. Dude. I've been. Oh my God, I got so much shit in the mail over the summer, dude. And I swear to God, I get where's my? I haven't chat on my phone. I swear to God, I get like 5 fucking phone calls a day from like, hello, this is blank and so with the Biden Harris campaign. Can we count on you? Yeah, click. And then I get a call like 10 minutes later from another. I get like 4 or 5 calls a day. I'm gonna fucking blow my head off. I'm ready for the election to be over already.
He said on 60 Minutes. I watched the 60 Minutes. Okay, the online fundraiser. Yeah, he was on an online fundraiser with George Lopez. That's where it's from. Who built the cages, Joe? Yeah, that's something. That's one thing Trump actually said that was like a really it could have been a really effective line of attack. The only thing that sucks about Trump saying that is that his supporters literally love the cages. They love the fact that families are getting separated at the border. But if he was trying to appeal to like a neutral, maybe even a left-leaning audience, that "Who built the cages" line was a really good one. But it's not going to
Oh, yeah,
resonate
dude,
with
I
anybody.
love the New York Post. You know how much I love the New York Post. Guess what their headline article is? Early voters want to change their votes after Hunter Biden expose. I'm sure they do.
No, it's like
Yeah. Literally no evidence whatsoever for it. It's to the point.
They walked
To
around
the
their
point.
office.
Fox News isn't even covering it. Fox News isn't covering it because they know it's bullshit.
I
There's
know
no
that, yeah.
evidence for it.
Well, it's not that they don't. It's not that they think it's bullshit because because they talked about it on Tucker Carlson. They talked about it on Hannity. Laura Ingraham talked about it. They're talking about it, but they don't want to cover it as like a legitimate. Like they don't want to publish any stories on it because of how questionable the sources are. Like literally, the only outlet with direct access to that hard drive is the New York Post, and they aren't releasing it to anybody. They aren't giving any kind of third-party access
What
to
is
it.
this? Rapper Lil Pump endorses Biden for president.
Oh, speaking of that, dude, did you see 50 Cent said fuck
No, I
Donald
didn't
Trump?
see that. But
People were asking him why he endorsed Donald Trump, and he goes, "Dude, fuck Donald Trump. I didn't endorse him."
well, apparently Lil Pump does endorse him.
He
Can Lil
actually
Pump
endorsed
even
Donald
vote?
Trump.
How old is Lil Pump? Isn't he like
I
17?
don't know.
He's like
He's like in
17.
his 20s.
Oh, he's 20.
His
Okay.
20s.
Why did I?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Pap Kern.
I don't know.
What
Ask the
Lil
New
Pump-
York Post as to why they wrote a whole fucking article on it. Like, ask the New York Post.
Literally, the only people that care about endorsements from these mainstream rappers, especially if they're black, especially if they're like a person of color, because then they get to do something called tokenization, because they get to say like, look at this black person that loves me. Okay, why don't all black people love me now? But if they were able to get like a UFC fighter, or if they're able to get like a mainstream rapper or celebrity or anybody to endorse a Republican candidate, they're gonna take that and run with it.
Yeah, and it's like as like cuz as we did cover what 50 Cent said, and I think Pump is saying something similar is these neither of them understand how tax brackets work. Because he's saying I look an extra 33. He's not going to pay an extra 30. He's going to pay like a little marginal cuz we went over it like on 50 Cent. He's going to go his taxes will go up by like 2%. He does like these, and it's just proof that if you're a top 1%er in this country, you actually don't need to understand how tax law works. You could be exorbitantly wealthy and not understand your fucking money at all. So yeah, so let's not act like that. The rich people are fucking God's grace to the earth, and they know how to know how to manage money better than anything else. Like.
Well, yeah, because that's the line of attack you always hear from them. It's oh, these taxes are gonna drive me bankrupt. They're I'm gonna lose all my money. The only way you can go bankrupt from taxes is if A, you're living outside your means, or B, your personal valuation of your assets is way bigger than it actually is. Which, by the way, Donald Trump is guilty of doing. I can talk about that. There was a Michael Cohen interview where he talked about that. But the way tax brackets work, people act like if you get taxed at a rate of 40%, that does not mean that 40 cents of every single dollar you make are going to the government. Your effective annual tax rate is probably somewhere around the high 20s if you are in the 40% tax bracket. If you really want me to do the math,
I was gonna say if you want me to, I can. Does anyone hang on? I just want to read some chat real quick. Hang on. Did you try to claim taxes shares? I'm not sure about that. I give a shit more about what you chuds think rather than his dumbass, and I barely know. Hey, I'll take that. I appreciate that. Hey, and if, for anyone who's watching and you're not following, consider following. I'd love to have all you guys come back and hang out. So if you're not following, consider following. And in the about section of our page, follow Twitter, go to YouTube. You can join Discord. But yeah, if you enjoy hanging out here, consider coming back. I'd love to have you back. But hang on, actually, honest question to chat: Does everyone know how a marginal tax bracket works? Like, does everybody know how tax brackets actually work? I'll wait for a response, because I will pull up Paint and I will explain how it works if you guys are unaware.
Because, dude, a shocking amount of people do not know how tax brackets work. Trump for the dubs. Okay, Lux Champ does not know how tax brackets work.
Okay, Pancake Monster does a marginal tax bracket.
Dude, pretty much everybody that watches us probably does, because they wouldn't be here if they didn't know how it worked, right? They're smart people. If they're here to watch two like just no-name leftists just rant about politics 3 times a week,
Yeah.
then they probably
Well,
know how
it's like
tax
it's your
brackets work.
percentage of your income that's in that bracket. Like, because a lot of people don't. They just think that like, oh, like, top tax rates pay 60%. Like, if you make over 400K, you pay 60%. It's like, no, any money over 400K, you pay 60% on. So if you make because I mean you pay all your brackets, under that. But if you make over it, then you pay 6. So if you make $410,000, you only pay 6,000. Above 400,000. So it's it's basically a free tax lesson if you want a tax lesson. It's like, hey, if you wanna wow your professors when you go to college on how much you know about accounting and taxes, bam, Alec and I, we're your dudes. We're your dudes. We got you. But if not, I'm gonna start checking 538 because we forgot to check 538.
And honestly, it might be like why conservatives don't want to learn, like just your average conservative voter, like why they don't want to, like, it's not only that they don't know how taxes work, it's that they don't want to know how taxes work. Because I feel like there's a tiny part of their mind that thinks to themselves like, okay, this entire tax 60% tax rate, that whole line of attack is BS. It's not going to work against anybody that's slightly educated on how tax law works. It's not going to work because they know what they're talking about. So I'm going to refrain from learning about it as to not compromise one of my only effective ways of talking positively about Trump.
Which
it's a matter of preserving the image within your own head. It's very much a defense
Alec, help me
mechanism.
with that link. It's not showing up in my stream chat. But let's see. Yeah, pretty similar because I think they had Trump at 13 and Biden at 86 last time we looked, and now it's 12 and 87. So I guess the lead's still a little in his favor. Let's see any states that are on a tipping point. Oh, look at that. They have North Carolina as blue. That wasn't blue the last time we looked.
What is it was, dude?
Or was it Maine?
North Carolina's always been like
one of these couple here was like not blue.
It wasn't Maine. It might have been Maine's like rural district.
Where was it?
Dude, North Carolina always leans like slightly blue. Or not slightly blue. In this case, pretty heavily
Where's
blue.
Nebraska's 3rd district?
Yeah, he can't hold charities anymore. Yeah, dude. Trump's idea of like charitable foundations is literally just commit fraud. Like he doesn't even want to use it to like he doesn't like rich people use charities as a means of writing off taxes while simultaneously having the veneer of like a charitable personality. But he sees it as an opportunity to literally commit fraud.
It's like that TikTok I sent you earlier today. Remember, I was looking through Instagram and I saw that TikTok. Remember? I think it was in the Reels. Okay. Yeah. So whenever a corporation, like if you go to, I go there. They're the biggest defenders of it. If you go to Whole Foods, and they're like, "Would you like to donate $1 to save needy children?" Don't fucking donate that $1. Just don't, because they will be donating it in Amazon's name. And because of that, they'll be able to pay less in taxes to our system, like you and I do. So whenever they're like, "Hey, do you want to donate $1 for needy kids or starving animals or I don't know, abused kids with cancer?" Like, say no.
You look that cashier in the eye and you go, "Fuck
yeah, you
them
look him
kids."
in the eye and say, "Fuck." No, you look him in the eye and you say, "No, I will not help Amazon, Target, Walmart, I don't know, whoever the fuck's doing it. Like, I will not help them use tax loopholes. They can pay those charities themselves. I will not be helping for that." Oh, Alex, did you help me with that link? Throw it in. Oh,
Yes, I put it in the Discord. Basically, what Trump does, what his basic idea of what like a foundation is, like the Trump Foundation, the one that was taken to court by the New York Attorney General, and was found guilty of a lot of cases of fraud, a lot, mostly fraud. He likes to take donations made with charitable intent and then not put those funds toward what he says he's doing, but instead using them to prop up his failing businesses, use them for personal vacations, use it as gift money, stuff like that. A lot like what the NRA is doing right now, what they're being charged for by the same
wait,
attorney
when
general.
did this happen? This like article? Oh, and Popcorn. Thank you for throwing that in chat. You're helping. You're throwing a lot of cool stuff in and helping me out with these links. Yeah, you should be following. I want you back. I want you back. Let's see. Well, I'm careful. What else to donate because half of them tell her you give 12 cents, and the rest goes to the CEO, making it $5 million. I will say, well, probably not. They probably do donate the money. It's just that they're doing it so they can get tax breaks. Like that's the whole reason that like corporations give to charities. They get tax breaks for it. Do you think that corporations just give money willingly out of their heart? Like, do you think the shareholders make more money by giving away to charity? No, they don't get more money. They get a tax break, and from there they keep more. They basically, if they take that money and give that to charity, that's good. Like it's done. Charitable contribution, write that off. Like that's all it's for.
Yeah, it's a very effective 1-2 punch. They get to write off taxes and they get to seem charitable. Because your average person who's donating to them doesn't realize like, hey, this money is going to be used to negate some tax dollars that they need to pay to the government.
So next time the cashier at Whole Foods tries to bait you like a sucker into donating to help homeless, abused dogs with cancer and 3 legs, tell them no, because you're not really helping. The only thing you're helping is Amazon pay less in taxes. If you really want to help, I'm not even going to go through that whole example again. If you really want to help the things that are in need that I mentioned, donate to the organization yourself or go volunteer yourself. Don't pay. Don't.
Yeah, don't involve corporate America as a needless middleman in between you and getting your money to people.
If you want to help,
here's the thing too. Those people that are in need, the homeless people, the people struggling with medical bills, they wouldn't be in those situations if massive corporations would have paid their fair share in the first place.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so let's see. This could be a decent segment. All right, so let's see. New York Attorney General released that Donald J. Trump was forced to pay $2 million in court-ordered damage. Yeah.
This is old news.
Oh, December. Oh, there it is. December 10th. Yeah. I see. I didn't know that. I never knew that. I don't follow up on that.
Yeah, dude. Well, you didn't think the Trump?
Oh, I know. I didn't know. I didn't know it was that fucking blatant. Like I thought they were at least a little bit crafty about it.
Yeah, dude. The people give the Clinton Foundation shit for being corrupt, which, by the way, there's a lot of evidence that it is, but nobody's ever been, criminally indicted on it. The Trump Foundation was literally shut down. He's not allowed to hold any more charitable events or open up any more charitable foundations because of how sketchy his past is. So don't act outraged and say, I'm not voting for Hillary Clinton because her foundation has close ties to Russia and she's using those funds fraudulently to line her own pockets and her own friends' pockets. That's why I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Let's see. Hang on. Dude, I gotta check that. Yeah, look at that. It's still the most neck and neck race to the Iowa Ernst and Greenfield. Damn, dude, it's close.
Cody, you want to hear something depressing that happened today that I bet you didn't know happened? Amy Coney Barrett was confirmed. She is now a member of the Supreme Court.
More suicide fuel.
And allow me to pour some...
actually, this is all huge news to me because I didn't check my phone. I had a super fucking busy day. I didn't check my phone at all. All this is brand new fucking news to me.
Allow me to to pour some fuel onto the fire of suicide that is just ablaze, just a blaze of glory right now, right? People are actually, factually, tangibly more suicidal now than they have ever been in American history. It's true. You could look it up. Around 50% of polled Americans a couple months ago said that they had genuine thoughts of committing suicide or self-harm. And suicide hotline calls are way up. But let's talk about Amy Coney Barrett for a second, okay? She was nominated by Donald Trump. Donald Trump did not win the popular vote, if you remember correctly, in 2016. He lost that vote famously by the largest margin ever by a winning candidate. And he nominated 2 Supreme Court justices before that. But now, in an election year, not only in an election year, but with less than a month to go to the election, there is an opening on the Supreme Court. And he, of course, as you know, the Republicans have a majority in the Senate. The Senate, like we've been over before, is one of the least democratic institutions America has, rivaled only possibly by the Electoral College itself. The Republicans hold a majority in the Senate despite representing over 11 million less people than their Democratic counterparts. Not only that, but of their 53 to 47, I believe, or no, 45, of their 53 to 45 majority they have in the Senate, 2 of those Republican senators are not even elected senators. They were appointed by their respective governors in Arizona and Georgia alike. That is what got Amy Coney Barrett a lifetime appointment on the Supreme Court, where they will inevitably tear down decades of progress made towards civil rights in America.
We'll see. We'll see. They're coming. The court's coming. Because, so yeah, and that majority's going to...
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that. That has to be one of my best speeches I ever gave.
Where's the clip button? There you go. Let's see if it clipped it. I recorded it anyway. You can put it on Twitter. I'm out of my sparkling water. Went to a burger. Actually, you know, the only thing that did make me even happy today is that I went to a burger place today and I got a sparkling water and I sat down. I was eating at the burger place. There was actually people there. It was kind of nice. People were out and about today. It was nice.
Were they being socially conscious individuals?
Like every other table was open. Everyone was wearing masks. But I went to this burger place and I sat down and ate and I was like, it's nice because like when I just like it's nowhere near. It's not. I'd say it's getting closer, but it's nowhere near pre-COVID levels. But like just when I'm walking down the street, there's like people, you know, going on, and you know, there's the hustle and bustle is returning. You know, it's
which is it's fine as long as they go about it responsibly.
It is nice to see it though, because yeah, everybody's wearing masks and stuff, but like it is nice to see the hustle and bustle again, because I missed it, like walking outside in the street and seeing, oh dude, oh my god, March was the worst, dude. Like when I would I'd walk outside my place, dude, and like, you know, I live on a busy street, there's like, you know, cars going up and down, people walking by, like it was like only 6 o'clock and I walked outside and it was dead. Like dead quiet. I was like, what the fuck? Like I was looking around like, Jesus Christ, it's like I'm in I Am Legend, dude.
All right, wait. Pap Kern and that one. Am I gonna have to break you two up? What's going on here? I don't know enough about her, TBH. I'm assuming you're referring to Amy Coney Barrett. We can go over her for a little bit if you want me to. Well, that's Dem's fault for locking people inside their houses and keeping kids from social interaction. That's totally irrelevant. Well, the lockdown, don't get me wrong, didn't help, but it's also the entire situation that we're in right now. It's not just the lockdown by itself. It's a nice mix of having a president that doesn't give a shit that, you know, 250,000 people plus have died from this pandemic. It's also a matter of around, like, you know, a little less than half a nation just being still totally in favor of him. It's the tribalism that people have now, and it's actually, you know, breaking families apart. You know, people are losing family members because of their political affiliation. if you taking COVID seriously is literally grounds now for losing friends, losing family members. Oh, you're taking that shit seriously? Don't you know that COVID's just a fabrication by the Democrats to make Trump look bad?
Hey, can't lose conservative friends if you never had them. Yeah.
Like you can't just blame it on the lockdown alone. The lockdown, yes, I will give you that. But we wouldn't have to be in the situation we were in now if it was done initially and it was done right, which it wasn't at all.
Yep, I kind of agree with that sentiment. Look at me.
Wait, I thought you're right. 5G closet.
Oh yeah,
you're right.
Justin Behan. Have I seen you before? I think I've seen you before. If not, consider following. Anybody who's watching and you're not following, consider following. Consider the following. Oh, we should get that, dude. I should get like a little Bill Nye graphic that says like consider, and I'll just scratch out. Oh, what did Alec do? Alec left the Discord. What are you doing, Boomer? Yeah, turn your camera on.
Can you hear me? Okay. Dude, literally my Discord just shut down for like a second. It just literally closed out and opened back
turn your
up.
Camera on.
God damn it, dude. I think it's my computer. I think my computer's just trying to kill itself.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm a conservative, remember. Yeah, I think I remember you. It did remember.
But Trump is a tool. Yeah, okay, yeah, now I do remember you. Yeah, thank you for coming back.
Appreciate it. And again, anyone who's not following, consider following. I need to get a Bill Nye graphic that cross out the just says consider following.
Consider following.
Yeah, wait, like consider the lobster. That's all I consider the. Yeah, like this. just need to get this up on. Yeah.
Consider
just
following.
I'll black out that. Just says consider following.
Nah, that would actually be. I don't think I've ever. I'm surprised I haven't seen something like that before.
I'll
that's actually pretty
bookmark
good.
it to remind myself to do it at some point. Consider
following.
Oh, did that one American? You bet your ass it did. Where's it at? It's around here somewhere. I had it. I think I dropped it earlier. Oh, here it is. Yeah, you bet, dude. Chud Smacker 3000. See, where is that? Truth over flies. Best drunk purchase I ever made. Even though I'll probably never actually use it to swat a fly. Just anytime somebody comes in here with some fucking malarkey, just whack, whack, whack. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. I'm caught in like a what do you call it? Well, what's it called? I'm losing the word for some reason. Whenever you're stuck, like you want to do something, but you know you shouldn't. Not a paradox, but a conundrum, maybe. I want to talk about something on stream here real quick. It's just something that just happened to me. It's kind of funny. It's kind of a funny story. I feel like I need to run it by you before I just talk about it.
Type it in chat while I address.
No,
I'll save it in chat.
I'll save it for next stream.
No, you can't. No,
because we have enough. We have enough to talk about. We have a whole 20-minute video to watch, my friend.
We'll start that at 9. We got 8 minutes. Can you cover your thing in 8 minutes? Can you at least give me a hint?
I cannot.
Okay, at least put it. No. At least put it in the chat.
I'll tell you about it. I will tell you about it after stream. We'll keep chat in suspense, okay? I might have a funny story for you Wednesday, okay? I might have a funny topic, a nice little. It's kind of politically motivated, but it's funny more so than anything.
You're killing AOC right now with that purchase. No, I'm not. See, okay, that's the thing. They got you fooled about. Plastic isn't bad. It's just we need to recycle it better. And we also just need to use alternatives to it. Plastic itself can be okay when necessary. This was probably not necessary, but
that's not a necessary purchase.
Metal ones. That is. But anyway, no. But I hate talking about like a lot of those environmental stuff because they like conservatives like to frame it as this like like they're trying to make it like an individual issue. Like we all need to individually do this, but it's like I think it's like what 80% of the world's pollution comes from like a handful of companies or something like that. It's like the top 100 companies like put out 80% of the world's pollution. So like we are as people are not the problems. There's a lot of other things that systemically need to be fixed.
Can you cover your thing in 8 minutes? Alex is gonna hit with some trash joke. No, it's not a joke. It's just a funny situation I have found myself in, and I want to share it with the people.
Fly fan fiction. Please put that in chat. I will read it if you put it in chat. If you find it, I will take 5 minutes off of a segment to read it. Type it in chat. What are you saying in chat? Just type it so I can see it in our Discord. Type that. I at least want to know what it is. Because I don't like secrets. I want to know what it is. Yeah. I just said me? Yeah.
It's not, dude. I told you I will tell you after. I don't know if it'll be...
Don't worry about it.
Age appropriate. No, it'll be age appropriate.
The stream isn't age appropriate. Like, the stream isn't fucking age appropriate.
Whoever is like an average viewer of ours at this point probably is they're big enough.
I forget how you can look. You can find your. Got to subscribe to his OnlyFans to get it. Yeah, dude. Atomization OnlyFans coming soon.
Yeah, dude. How about this? If we get 100 subs today, I'll tell
everyone
my story.
subs today. Alec will tell his story.
100. It has to be 100. It has to be 100. Not everybody. It's got to be 100. We got to surpass the 100 follower mark, and then have
if we can get 31 followers in the next hour and a half.
And I forgot that one American is 12. At least mentally, he's still 12. We gotta.
Thank God.
I'm just kidding. That one American, you know, we love you.
Here, no, this is that one American. Fucking waltzes into our chat. Here's him. He's like, "Hi, I'm that one American. I'm a kid. I'm married.
I am 12.
I'm 12. This is him. Waiting for my badge. Lux, I'll get you your badge. You know, I don't want to do it right now because I'm on stream. I can't do it from Streamlabs. I need to go to Twitch to do it. I will get you. I will give you my phone number and you can text me and remind me. Actually, I don't think
No. Oh, you mean like the Pence thing? It's probably like erotic fan fiction.
I'll read it. I'll read it.
We can't have it on stream.
Why not? Dude, you could read like small clips of it. Like people have read like 50 Shades of Grey on stream. Like.
Okay, but dude, you can't have like pictures of pornography.
I found one too. 12, 13 in May. Yeah, every kid on Xbox Live. You're like, yo, how fucking old are you? He's like, and he gives it talks with like an artificially deep voice. You guys like, oh, I'm 12, but I'm gonna be 13 next month. Like you can tell he's faking it. We've all been that kid on Xbox Live. Yeah, dude, I have a girlfriend. She goes to another school though. Like, it's in a Wattpad.
She's suffering secondhand embarrassment. Oh yeah, no, we probably shouldn't show it. It's out there. Can you put the link in chat just so that way chat knows like what links to avoid? Like just so they know what links not to click. Like just put it in there for everybody.
What not to click. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about let's talk about ACB real quick.
You missed it if you're just joining us now, Josh. Well, wait, were you here earlier? I don't know. Well, you missed like an award-winning rant of mine that I just went on about that. I think it's clipped. I'll post it later.
ACB was sworn in. We're fucked.
Oh, you just got back. Okay. I'll probably post that video on my Twitter or something.
Oh my God. Do we unironically have a chat that is anti? Can't even say it with a straight face. That is anti Pence Fly fanfiction.
Oh wait, did somebody put the link? There it is. Don't click on that. Hey chat, don't click on that link.
What's
don't do it.
What's the reverse cycle? do not click on that link, and totally do not
Just so
tell
we
me
know.
if it's funny or
Yeah.
not. Do not click it, and don't tell me if it's funny, and don't tell me if if like the fly crawls up like Pence's dick hole or something. Don't tell me if that's there. All right, Amy Coney Barrett.
Every day we stray further from God's light. Dude, God's light's no longer shining his light on us. What are you talking
So the
about?
Senate voted today. This
That cements a 6-3 conservative
this is just
majority
fucking,
on the.
yeah, less than 40 days, a month. It took him a month to do it. Yeah, dude, this is suicide fuel. Do we really want to do this? Like, dude, we are gonna have blood.
That's,
on
I
our
mean,
hands.
that's
we're gonna have blood on our hands for going over this.
That's like genuine, like that's like that's like speed run fascism
Speed run.
right there. Like it took them a month. The record before that was like 40 days, I think. And the average swearing in, I think the hearing process and the actual vote, I think on average it takes I think the number was like 74 days or something.
Yeah, because like the Senate is doing other things while they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we'll talk. We'll have the hearing this day.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, McConnell was like, this is priority numero uno. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think about, dude. That's a good point that honestly I didn't think about. Think about how efficient they are whenever it comes to instilling somebody into the Supreme Court, an institution that can make sure they hold power for more than a generation. For a generation. Like they kicked it into high gear. They fucking went from first to sixth gear in one shift. The government can be the most efficient thing ever if A, there is a majority, and B, that majority is, that they concede on doing one thing. They consolidate and say, this is the thing we need to get done right now. Notice how whenever it comes to coronavirus relief and spending money to help poor people, Mitch McConnell comes in. Well, Nancy Pelosi comes in and says, I can give you a $2 trillion bill. Mitch McConnell says, no, my limit's $500 billion, and I don't want anybody getting money except for the corporations. Doesn't get done. But whenever it comes to a process, like I said, instilling somebody into a position of power that can guarantee a conservative majority in a in a government institution, they will just rush it, just absolutely just crush every speed run record that's possible, set new records. Like, this is just proof that the government is just the most efficient, one of the most efficient institutions in the world.
Hang
if they
on.
want
So
it
to CC, how do you feel? I feel like you copy and pasted this straight from somewhere. How do you feel about a judge, Amy Coney Barrett, being confirmed to the 15th Associate Justice on the? I know you did not formulate that thought. I know that did not come from you. I know you. That did not come from you.
I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. At least
I
you
know
did.
that did not come from you. No, but it's absolutely terrible, and it's a slide toward the complete wrong way for this country, because they're saying it now that I'm not gonna mess with the ACA. I'm not gonna mess with civil rights for gays. I'm not gonna mess with women's reproductive health. They're saying that. Mark our words. You heard it here first. We're the only people to have ever said this. She will take away your civil liberties.
And one thing that people don't talk about is that, obviously Republicans and conservatives pretty much across the board are going to take the unpopular and objectively wrong stance whenever it comes to issues of civil rights, reproductive health, stuff like that. But whenever she was, the 7th Circuit judge in Indiana? Was she Indiana or Illinois? I think she was Indiana. Anyways, whenever she was a judge there, at her previous position, she had to hear a case about overtime pay. Because I don't know if you heard about this, but Grubhub was, stiffing their employees. They were shorting their employees overtime pay that they were entitled to because of, the contractor loophole. And basically, the idea behind the contractor loophole is that these aren't actual employees of the organization. They are just contracting their work to a third party. The individual people who are delivering food, in the instance of Grubhub, are the third parties who are contracting their work to Grubhub. So they were able to somehow find a loophole and stiff them out of overtime pay. Amy Coney Barrett heard this case, and she ruled in favor of Grubhub. She said that this is not a case that the state Supreme Court needs to hear. This is a process that needs to go through private arbitration. And private arbitration means that these, relatively probably poor lower middle class people that work Grubhub jobs, they can't afford private arbitration. That's hundreds of dollars an hour just to settle some overtime pay? Like, no. So this is a judge that has set a precedent that she is going to roll in favor of corporations for most of the time, for pretty much any case she hears.
Alec, you may have been wrong. Let's see. Somebody, they said the quickest Supreme Court nomination was 19 days. Justin Buchanan.
19 days. In 1975, who was president in 1975? Nixon.
It was John. Wait, no. Yeah, John Paul Stevens. How long does this have anything about his hearing?
Oh wait, no. Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford was.
Oh, that's president. A boomer move. Right. Be born in Chicago, die in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That's the way to die. That's the proper boomer die. That's the proper boomer death right there. Get born.
Ford, yes. Yeah. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say, dude, you're getting. If it was 76, that's Jimmy Carter, dude. Jimmy Carter wouldn't do that.
Let's see. Where's
Ginsburg took 42. I forget, where did I see these numbers? Average Supreme Court nomination time. Here we go. Oh, okay. Chat. I apologize. I looked at the numbers, and the average is 67 days. The median is 71 days. So I just mixed up. Yeah, I just mixed up. I might have seen the mode, actually. The mode might be a little bit higher.
Why is the mode relevant?
Because the mode is it's the most often occurring instance in like a sample.
But like I was thinking like the average would be.
That's usually like if you look on 538, like the mode. The statistically most likely outcome would be Biden getting 400 plus electoral votes, that mode. The mode is pretty important in statistics, Cody. Very anti-intellectual.
I understand what the mode is. I was just wondering. I was thinking it's probably not the best choice to give your response. Oh, but hey dude, look at chat, dude. They're turning on you. You should. They're saying you should work for CNN, dude.
God damn it, dude! I know.
Be gone with you, dude. Where you go? Goodbye.
Well, listen, I can make a case that it's not even a matter of me seeing a piece of data and just accepting it at face value because it agrees with my pre-existing political stances. I literally just mixed up the mean and the median.
Alec was.
Like if you want to behead me for that, like
yeah, no. The biggest problem is that in 2016 they set the precedent of we shouldn't confirm a Supreme Court nomination during during a lame duck president's. We should wait until after the election for the American people to decide. And people are like, generally we're like, sure, why not? Like even a lot of Dems were just like, why not? Why not? Trump wins, put his.
No, they weren't.
Now that they have the opportunity with they have a lame duck president in his final term, at least for this term or his final year of his first term. Now they're like.
No, Cody, I can tell you don't know anything about this. I can tell you don't know anything about this because the Republican Senate decision to do something like that, Mitch McConnell's decision, was met with the Democrats weren't complacent in that. If they were complacent, Obama wouldn't have nominated Merrick Garland.
I'm talking about the American electorate themselves. I'm not talking about the Senate. Of course, the Senate, yeah, like duh.
Well, the American electorate is just going to conform to their
Yeah.
respective party's position, and in that case, yes, it is Obama's constitutional duty to nominate a Supreme Court justice, and then it is the Senate's constitutional duty to hold a vote
Yeah.
on that nominee. Guess what the Senate didn't do?
Yeah.
It's not even a matter of them voting it down.
I'm gonna
They
mute you.
completely
If you're going
just,
off on a point, we all know. Like we all know what happened. Oh,
I
I do.
don't think you do.
but I was just gonna read, as a conservative, Republicans players. Yeah, they were very sleazy with that move. Is that in 2016 they were like, yeah, a lame duck president should nominate a Supreme Court, nominate someone to the Supreme Court. Now they're like, oh yeah, they should do it. Now they're like, oh yeah, the president has a constitutional right to do it. That they completely flipped around on that. And yeah, I was saying it's she said argument and the claim was false. Trump signed the code release the next day anyway. Because he said that Pelosi held the thing back because she wanted abortion funds in the coronavirus bill, which was not true at all. That was not why it was being held.
Yeah, it was the abortion. It was Planned Parenthood funding, and it was post office too. I don't know if they took out the stuff about the post office, but the post office, getting extra funding to the post office is very relevant, especially during a pandemic and an election year.
She uses the virus to spread abortion. Oh yeah, this is according to the Family Research Council, which is a dog whistle for a fascist organization. Anything like that. Her secret language on abortion.
Her secret language on abortion. Yeah, she just wants, dude. Nancy Pelosi famously said behind closed doors, "I wish every single impregnated human being in the United States aborts their child."
I heard it.
She said that.
I heard it.
This is something she said. Just take my word for it. If you are pregnant, Nancy Pelosi wants you to have an abortion.
Yeah,
she wants that baby dead. She said that, dude.
Yeah.
Look it up. You won't find it.
Look at that, dude. The Family Research Council's dropping bars on SoundCloud. Would you look at that? That's where they drop their sound files.
I believe it. Justin believes it.
Yeah, dude.
Everybody should believe it.
Nancy Pelosi, all of you in chat. Nancy Pelosi wanted all of you to be aborted. She wanted all of you to be aborted.
Yeah. And I honestly don't understand. Like, if you don't agree with me, I don't know why, dude. I'm literally the most credible person there is. Nobody's more credible than me.
It's delicious, bro. It is.
Right wing Kool-Aid is delicious. We've talked about that before. Like, just imagine being able to just like mentally uncheck from reality. It would be great. It's actually very appealing. Like, it's something that, it's whenever I get like old and just stop caring about like, how I look, what people think of me, I might genuinely think like, you know what? I'm just going to mentally uncheck from reality and become a conservative.
Only if her mother would have had the same access, or just had the same thought process. Ooh, shots fired. Alex, that's called dissociating.
Disassociating is becoming dissonant from reality. I'll do that whenever I'm like 70 plus, not because I'm my ideals changed to more conservative, but just because I don't care about keeping up anymore.
You're just gonna sit on your porch and just yell random shit at passerbys. All right, the moment
I sit on my wooden rocking chair with my guitar, just strumming away, yelling at everybody that walks by.
Don't you step on my grass! All right, let's see. The moment Alex been waiting for. He's been very excited to talk about this.
What's this?
What? Fuck off. When the FBI takes me out, it was nice knowing y'all. Bye. It was nice knowing you. It was nice knowing you.
The FBI.
Oh, because he said Nancy Pelosi.
If anything, me.
Oh yeah, it could be like that one kid with the threaten to kill Biden. That kid. Yeah, put a
Should I kill Joe
fucking
Biden?
meme on iFunny saying like, "Should I kill Joe Biden?" And the FBI, dude, imagine how like the creators of like iFunny feel. It's like this dumb little fucking app where people post memes and then like it's being subpoenaed, like for fucking evidence in a fucking court hearing by the FBI, like because one of their users threatened to kill a presidential nominee. Like,
I mean, you can play like the shit posting card all you want, but as long as people keep using that excuse, like, oh, he wasn't being serious, he was just being edgy, he was shit posting, the harder it is to decipher between people who are being serious and people who are just shit posting. Because, as you know, there are genuine threats to American left-leaning political figures. Genuine threats that need to be taken seriously, and muddying the waters with all this, like just edge lords joking about killing people, it only makes it harder, right? It plays into their hand, because if you delegitimize, their ideas, it makes them seem a lot less menacing.
welcome to 2020. It's just a prank, bro. Yeah,
It's just a prank,
yeah.
bro,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna
You're on my
yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
just
run
a
out.
prank,
I'm gonna
bro.
go in public. I'm gonna walk outside the street. I'm gonna find some random passerby. Oh, shut
Writing's
up.
not that easy.
Shut up.
But Grammarly can help.
And I'm gonna find some random baby in a stroller, and I'm just gonna.
Sentence
oh my God.
is grammatically
I'm just
correct.
gonna fucking kick over the stroller and run away. And then whenever they call the police on me for like possibly endangering the life of a child, I'm just gonna go, it was just a prank, bro. I just pranked you. Or walk outside.
And they're
Or
gonna
I
go,
walk outside with a fucking hammer. I go to my closet, my toolbox, and get a hammer, and I run out and just fucking hammer somebody in the nuts. And then whenever they're on the ground writhing in pain, I just go, "Hi, you just got pranked." Like, my friend, you just been kicked in the nuts.
And yeah, while they're curled up in a fetal position, just sweating, just gasping for air, they look at you in the eye, start cackling, and then give you a fist bump, like, "Nice break, bro. You really got
What
me."
about the Islamic extremists in France who beheaded? Oh, we actually covered that. We covered that, didn't we? I swear we covered that.
I think no, that was like that. I think
No, that
happened
was
in, like,
recent.
2014.
We covered that. Oh, I may have covered that. On that Saturday you weren't here. I may have covered that. Yeah, there was like some teacher. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did cover that. But then there was another instance, like in 2014
Yeah.
or 2015, of a cartoonist depicting Muhammad, and then some psychopath went in and blew up the.
Yeah, no, this is just one
up their
like
building.
one teacher that was like beheaded or something like that because he was just. I think he was teaching something. I think he was teaching some sort of religion or whatever, or history class, and I guess some guy didn't like it, and he cut his fucking head off for it. So yeah, obviously it's not good. That's fucking stupid to cut somebody's head off over your belief in the supernatural. I think that's kind of a dumb thing to do. So yeah, of course I do not think that was a good idea, or I do not condone that at all. Alec, would you like me to share this with you?
Yes. All right, chat. Here's Cody. What do you got?
President
for us?
Donald Trump, the
I know you
60
wanted to
Minutes
talk about
2020 election interview with the man himself, Donald J. Trump.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about this. As you probably know, if you're up to date on the politics, every election cycle they do about a week before the election, they do an interview on 60 Minutes with the incumbent president, and then they'll bring in the vice president. They'll do the they'll do the challenger, and it's usually pretty chill. It's usually pretty they just give their last little selling point, like, hey, vote for me, whatever. Not only did Trump make a fool of himself, as was expected. Cody, fix my camera. Not only did Trump make a fool of himself as expected, but he went out of his way to remove any shadow of a doubt that he is completely mentally incapable of being president from here on out. Like, I have never been so embarrassed by an elected leader. Just
Yeah.
watch. Just you need to watch. If you haven't
Hey,
watched,
Ricky
just
Bob
watch.
is baby Jesus. Nice name. Ghosts are not real. There's no evidence that have ever been proven the existence of a ghost, so no. But I like your name. Hey, anyone who's not following right now, I always say, and if you're not following, consider following. Coming back and hanging out. Give us your hot takes and listen to our hot takes. There's a lot of hot takes. It's steamy chat.
Teamy chat.
Tonight, in what has become an election year tradition for 60 Minutes, conversations with the major party candidates for president and vice president of the United States. Later, Nora O'Donnell, all too public dust-up. The conversation was cut short. Be president again.
Because we've done a great job and it's not finished yet. And when I finish, this country will be in a position like it hasn't been maybe ever. The economy is already roaring back, and other people aren't going to bring it back. Certainly the person that we're dealing with is not going to bring it back. They're going to raise taxes.
Let me ask you what you think your the biggest domestic priority is for you right now.
Well,
Or next year.
ultimately, let me, and I'll tell you, it was happening. We created the greatest economy in the history of our country, and the other side
You
was
know
coming
that.
in-
You know that's not
she
true.
It
she
is
called him
totally-
out. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that's not true. That's not true. Like, on the audio and the video was way out of. Oh, is that anything I can help? Hang on.
in the history of our country, and the other side
You
was
know
coming
that.
in-
You know
If the
that's
audio is out of sync for the video, it should be out of sync for us as well.
Trump looks like shit. Holy fuck. He kind of does.
Try refreshing the page, but here's a fun fact. I'm gonna give you a little piece of ammo to use against conservatives if they ever think that the economy is a selling point for Donald Trump. Before COVID-19, yield curves, as in like independent creditors' faith in people being able to repay loans, the yield curve inverted, which is usually a pretty effective signifier of an incoming recession. Because creditors, people who loan money, have no faith in people, average people who take out loans, they have no faith in their ability to repay long-term loans. So what do? They jack up the interest rates, right? Because the longer the term loan, the lower the interest rate's going to be. If the interest rates start to, if long-term interest rates start to crank up above short-term interest rates, that's an inverted yield curve, and that's usually the signifier of some kind of impending.
Trying to play an ad again because I was thinking I could maybe refresh my page, but it's gonna, of course, it's gonna play an ad just because I refreshed, because it's YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get YouTube Premium.
But yeah, that's usually the signifier for an incoming like economic disaster, and that's what happened before COVID-19. Before that wrecked the economy. Now you could say
sorry,
like, oh,
Ricky
it
Bobby's
was
baby
ravaged.
Jesus. Mwah. Love you. Thanks for following.
You could conceivably make an argument like, oh, it was already ravaging through China. You know, supply chains were starting to shut down. That's what led to people starting to panic a little bit. And I mean, that's a genuine argument. I could see being convinced by that. But every time you have a conservative president that institutes any kind of demand side economic policy, like lifting regulation, cutting taxes, that de-incentivizes production and just brings the economy to a halt. So yeah, there's your little
Wait, did you
piece
say
of ammo you could
conservatives
use
talking
against
about demand
conservatives.
side? Yeah.
Or,
I
I'm
was
sorry,
gonna
supply
say,
side,
I
supply
would
side,
say
supply
that
side.
didn't seem right.
Supply
But yeah.
side.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. If you have a conservative that comes in and talks about how supply side economics are the way to go, trickle down economics, they're dumb and they're wrong.
True. Hey, if it's still out of sync, let me know. Oh,
the
it's out of sync
greatest
for me.
economy in the
There we
history
go.
of our country, and the other side
You
was
know
coming
that.
in-
You know that's not true.
It is totally true.
No.
It isn't. But President Trump did have an impressive string of economic accomplishments.
We had the best stock market price ever, and we're getting close to that price again. The unemployment numbers for African Americans, for Asian Americans, for Hispanic
Dude,
Americans,
she looks just as orange as
virtually
him.
every number was the best. And what was happening is things were coming
Well,
together.
I asked you, what's the priority? I mean, those are all the good things.
The
What do you have to
priority
solve?
now is to get back to normal, get back to where we were, to have the economy rage and be great with jobs and everybody be happy. And that's where we're going, and that's where we're heading.
And who is our biggest foreign adversary?
China.
I would say China. They're
I would
an
say
adversary.
China.
They're the
They're a
biggest.
competitor.
I mean, he's
They're
not
a foe
wrong. I mean, like, China is very, very quickly becoming a superpower. I mean, well, they already are a superpower. They're like, I mean, we are still like, you know, the top dog on the world stage, but they are very, very rapidly, you know, closing that gap.
Yes.
I was saying,
I will
I saw a
never-
lot of,
go ahead. Yeah, finish
I've
what
read a
you're
lot of
saying.
articles about how like Africa is becoming China's China. Like they're starting to outsource their production to China so like they can focus more on
Yeah.
a service-based economy. Yeah, like they're obviously expanding their military presence. They have like the largest population in the world. Like they have unlimited manpower compared to anywhere else in the world. So yeah, like I mean, China is definitely a force to be worried about and a force to be reckoned with. Jamaica got them sneaky bobsledders. Got to keep your eye on those cats. Jamaica me crazy, man.
You will never hear me dabble in American exceptionalism. But I will say this. If I had to choose between two countries being the undisputed dominant world power, both militarily and economically, I'd choose the US over China 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna disagree with you.
They're both bad.
But again, it's
They're
like,
both
hey,
bad. But China,
I would say it's just like this
yeah.
election, okay? It's just like this election. Both are pretty bad, but one of them is better. Between Biden and Trump, Biden's a bit better. Between if I had to choose between to live in the United States or China, both are bad. I'm picking the U.S. hands down, though. You good? All right.
We're good. Let's hear what else he
In
has
many
to say.
ways, but they're an adversary. I think what happened was disgraceful. Should never have happened. They should never have allowed this plague to get out of China and go throughout the world. 188 countries. Should never have happened.
4 years ago, you were behind in the polls, as you are
She
now,
looks like a ghoul.
and you pulled it out. But this time you have kind of a double migraine. You have unemployment claims going up. You have COVID cases going up. I mean, it's like the gods have suddenly decided to conspire against
I don't
you.
think so at all, no. I think
Well,
we've
what
done a great
about
job
these-
with COVID.
Sir, excuse me, cases are up in about 40 states.
You know why cases are up also? Because we do more testing. The fake news media loves to say cases are up. The fact is we've done a very, very good job.
Cases are up.
We have done, that's right, because we're doing so much testing.
There is increased testing, but according to the COVID Tracking Project, that doesn't account for all of the rise in new cases sweeping the country or the 40% increase in hospitalizations in the past month.
When you're out there saying we've turned the corner, this thing is disappearing,
That's
and
right, we
people
have
can
turned the
Yeah,
corner.
see.
that's a good point because he brings up testing all the time. Oh, we do more testing, but like, yeah, sure, we have more cases because we do more testing. Let's say that's true, yeah. But we also have more deaths. We have more hospitalizations per capita. Like, there's a lot of other metrics that we can, that we can judge. We can judge that on.
Yeah. I mean, despite the in whole numbers, in just concrete just numbers by themselves, yes, we do a lot of testing. We do a lot of testing. Haha, get it? Do. We do a lot of testing. But that, like she said, that does not account for the disproportionate amount of cases and deaths that we have in this country. To say that we're testing and we have a lot of cases is not to say that the virus is dealt with. You figure out how many cases you got, how bad it's getting, and then you do something about it. He's not doing anything about it. He's just saying, we're rounding the corner. We're rounding the corner. It's going to get better. If you hear anything remotely bad about my administration regarding this COVID crisis, it's fake news. Believe me, it's getting better. It's the literal definition of abysmal leadership.
Actually, I'm looking over here because people can't really see, but I didn't realize Joe Biden gave one too because I've only heard about the Trump one.
Joe Biden also gave one. Kamala Harris, Mike Pence, they all gave one.
Let's watch them all. Gotta watch them all.
Nah, dude, only
People
Trump
can
matters.
see cases going up all over in the Midwest, in the Mountain West. Record numbers of
We have
cases in
turned the
some
corner.
states.
We understand the disease. We understand the elderly, and we are
Sorry to keep
taking care
interrupting.
of them.
She triggered his dialogue tree. Like, because that's the textbook response he gives to every time that's brought up. Like, anytime he just goes, "We're turning the corner. We understand the virus better than ever. We're beating it back." Like, she clicked a menu on the dialogue tree in Skyrim, and that was his response that he was programmed to give out.
Nobody's ever taken care of them, so we are taking care of our people.
Okay, let me ask you something about suburban women.
Yeah.
Suburban women, will you please like me?
Please clap.
Please. Please. I saved your
Please
damn
clap.
neighborhood, okay?
You said the other day to suburban women, "Will you please like me, please, please?"
Oh, I didn't say that. You know, that's so misleading the way.
He's on video saying it, and he's like, "I never said that." Like, again, it's like dealing with like a fucking kid that like takes a crayon and like draws on the wall or something like that, and then like you go home, like you come home and you're like, "Who did that?" And they're like, "Not me." And you're like, "Well, who the fuck else did? Like, who else would? It was you." And like, I'm just talking for me. Is you or my fucking wife? And I know my fucking wife didn't fucking scribble with flowers on the fucking wall with a crayon. Who was it? Like, there's a video of him saying it. He's still like, "Nope, never said it." Like, to be fair, Buns. But it said he didn't say something too and got called on. Oh, I'm sure he did. Oh yeah, they all lie. I know. Oh, I'm sure they.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, all politicians lie, but to act like Biden isn't marginally better than Trump is just to ignore
Yeah, but it's.
reality.
I would say, but it's. We have to explain what the Biden one is. I want to see if it's similar in comparison because I'm sure he lied about something. But what was the?
Well, if you're talking about the poor kids and white kids, that's something that wasn't taken out of context. But you just get him on like, "Oh, look at how racist he is." He was literally talking about making sure everybody has equal opportunity. That's literally what he was talking about. When a Republican trips up and says something racist, it's probably because they actually disdain colored people. Joe Biden was giving a speech on equality of opportunity for everybody, and he tripped up and said, "Oh, poor people and white people." Like, conservatives loves to use that as ammo without having any idea, like, of what he was actually trying to get across.
Did. Yep, he did on the fracking. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, but we've explained before. Me and Cuddy have explained before how he's like in kind of like a really bad like tug of war between the left and the right about fracking.
Because
fracking.
I say jokingly, suburban women, you should love me because
again,
I'm
it's
giving you
what we were just saying
security,
before, dude. It's a troll, dude. It's I was just joking. Like
Schrodinger's douchebag.
Got rid of the worst regulation. See,
What regulation?
the way you said that is why people think of you and everyone else as fake news. I said kiddingly, suburban women, you should love me. I got rid of a regulation that would bring
quote,
low-income housing into suburbia that would destroy suburbia. And I said that in a joking way. The way you have it, it's like, oh, like I'm begging. I'm kidding.
I mean, that's what you did. Yeah.
That is such a misleading question, Lester.
But you're behind
Can we play the
suburban
tape? Hey.
women in the polls.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I really doubt it.
One of the reasons is that they don't feel you're being upfront about the pandemic. Are you deliberately
We're rounding the corner.
downplaying
We're
it?
doing well. We're doing well. We understand the disease. We've done a good job. We've done maybe a great job. What we haven't done a good job on is convincing people like you, because you're really quite impossible to convince, but that's okay. And the economy
Dude,
now
interviewing
is
him
coming
must
back, and
fucking
it's coming
suck.
back
'Cause
very
he
strongly.
just insults you the whole time you're sitting there. Like I fucking hate it.
Because that's the thing. If you don't pander to him, if you don't go out of your way to prepare like a nice list of questions that are just going to be softballs, like, oh, here you go. How does it feel to be the greatest president in American history? Well, I'll tell you, it's something to be that, like, no. They're going to hit him not with hard questions. They're going to hit him with genuine questions that are grounded in reality. And he hates it. He cries about how the media treats him unfairly because reality does not favor Trump. That's what it is. If you go and watch... Okay, yeah, go ahead.
You'll see that, Leslie.
There are more unemployment claims. I mean, the economy has kind of
Leslie, we just picked up 11.4 million jobs. It's the largest number in the history of our country.
It is true that of the 22 million jobs lost since February, 11.4 million have been restored. Yet, unemployment claims are running at historically high levels. But the president sees the economy as his strongest suit.
Gallup did a poll. 56% of the people said that they're better off now during a pandemic than they were during Obama and Biden. 56%. It was a record number.
Can we go back for 1 second?
I just want to point out I just want to point out how that's kind of fucking irrelevant because like there's a lot of factors that go into like somebody's he doesn't have a good hand right now. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, like there's a lot of factors that goes into a person like saying that they're better off now than then. Like because I mean, if you want to look at things like wages in terms of productivity, like that's down. Like people's what is it? The average person's share in the stock market is still going down. Like so like. I mean, I really don't give a shit how people feel. Like, I really don't care how they felt. Like, that means irrelevant. That's irrelevant to me. It's what you call an emotional argument.
Pandemic, because you called Dr. Fauci and other health officials idiots.
Where did I call him an idiot?
You called them idiots. I wonder if you
he's
think...
been wrong a lot. I like him, but he's been wrong a lot.
I wonder if you
Trump,
think that masks don't work.
I feel masks possibly work. But certainly you want to stay away a certain distance, socially distance, etc. But I would say a mask works, and I have nothing against masks, and I tell people to wear masks. I have no problem.
Tell me then about these rallies you've been having.
A lot of people are wearing masks,
a lot of people aren't. I'm watching all these people jammed in together, and I'm seeing most of them without masks. And I'm wondering the message that you're sending with these pictures coming across
television. Take a look.
television.
Yesterday, we were in Arizona, record-setting rallies, numbers of people like nobody's seen before.
You used to have bigger rallies.
No, these are much bigger than I ever had.
I don't want to bicker over that.
Again,
Tell me about the
I
masks.
feel her because it's just like, it's not even fucking, because it's just like, it's not even fucking worth arguing over. Because you're just going to sit there and say, nope, I didn't do it. Nope, I didn't draw on the wall. Nope, I didn't do it. Well, who did? I don't know. It wasn't me. Like, yeah, my rallies, highest rallies ever. It's astonishing. People are blown away. They're not as high as your last ones. Oh no, you're wrong. They're bigger than 2016. Like,
yeah, it's literally the same comparison with a kid drawing on a wall. It's literally the same comparison. He is saying, don't look at what's actually happening. Listen to what I'm saying.
yeah. So if he would just, and also all he has to do, just say they help. Just say it. Like it's it. Nobody's gonna think you're a fucking weakling or a dumb. Just say it. Just say, like, if honestly, okay, because I think I said this last stream. Okay, if in like fucking May or June, if Trump would have just said, listen, I was wrong. Okay, this is real. We gotta wear masks. We gotta just hunker down for a month or so, and we'll beat it. If he would have done that, and the economy, we would have fucking recovered. Honestly, there's a good shot he would win. Like he would just win.
Yeah, exactly. His base won't abandon him for saying that because they're literally ride or die with him. They don't care. He could become a socialist. He can go mask off, say, hey, guess what? I'm a socialist now. We're going to ensure that the worker sees the means of production, and his base will be like, you know what? We're on board. Makes sense to me, chief. That's what they would say.
But that's the thing is, if he would have just like said, like, you know what? It's real. Let's buckle down. Let's beat it. Wear a mask, social distance, stay at home. Like, everybody gets $1,000 a month for 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. He probably would have won. Like, honestly, I would be confident to say he probably would win. Like, but it's just because he lost so many people, because he just sits there and just denies everything. Like, we all remember watching him in March and April say, it's a load of shit. It'll be over by Easter. We all remember that. And he's like, nope, didn't happen. Never said it. Like, and we're all just like, what? Like, and people that are like, and I'm guessing, Justin down in chat, I don't know if you're one of them. Maybe you condemn racist when you had a chance to. That too. That's a big one too. Yeah, but like, I'm sure you, because you said you're conservative. I'm sure like you'd be on the same boat too. Like, if you would have just said like, okay, let's buckle down. Like, probably would have won. Like, all right, let's back to it.
Negative. You're so negative. These are the biggest rallies we've ever had. You just come in here with that negative attitude. These are the biggest rallies we've ever had.
But I can't believe, after what happened in the Rose Garden here, after the announcement, with all the people getting sick, that you are not being more strongly encouraging about wearing masks at your rallies.
I tell people to wear
But you
masks.
don't.
Leslie, we hand out thousands of masks.
But you
at
look
every
out and
rally.
they're not wearing them.
Guess
You
what we
don't
do,
get up there and say, look, you know, come on.
Go
I
ahead.
don't want you to
What's
get
your next
sick.
question, Leslie? We're outside. The rallies are bigger than they've ever been. There's more enthusiasm than we've ever had. There has never been anything like what you're witnessing now, and you'll see that soon.
Okay, I'll ask you another health question, okay? Told you, okay. You promised that there was going to be a new health package, a health care plan.
Pelosi stopped it.
You said that it was going to be great. You said it's ready, it's going to be
will
ready,
be.
it'll be here in 2 weeks, it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen before, and of course we haven't seen it. So why didn't you develop a health plan?
It is developed. It is fully developed. It's going to be announced very
When?
soon when we see what happens with Obamacare.
If the Supreme Court ends this Obamacare,
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. I hope that they end it. It'll be so good
Again,
if they end it,
if
people
you're
with
doubting that ACB will try to, they want her in there. Let's see. You guys should watch the video Trump released so you can see what took place behind the scenes. Motive 3. Oh, Motive. I've seen you here before. We'll have to look at that video afterwards, because I don't think we're going to watch this whole thing, because I'm going to have a fucking migraine by the end of this.
I mean, if you're talking about him getting up and walking out, they literally just show him getting up and walking out. Like, that's just what happened.
I'll say, is there anything specifically like interesting about that?
with pre-existing conditions will be stranded. And that's just
How
a
much
fact.
disparity is there between the two
No.
videos? Not that much. Like in between the jump cuts that they do, she throws in like her little fact check, and then on Trump's video, it's literally just them like talking to the producers.
Oh. I like that face. He's leaning in for a kiss. He's gonna kiss his followers. Mwah. Pucker up, Big Daddy. They talked about Hunter's laptop. Child trafficking more they wouldn't go. Yeah, they're not gonna include it because it's a load of bullshit. It's a dumb fucking low IQ conspiracy theory. That's why they're not gonna put it on there. Hey, Taco, what's up, dude? Yeah, I'll say yeah. Yeah, lurk around for a little bit. But yeah, no, they're not talking about Hunter Biden's laptop because it's a fucking dumb conspiracy theory that fucking low IQ morons are promoting. Like it's not real. Like it's not a real story.
And here's the thing about that too. Donald Trump is not on here for if this isn't a campaign event for him. This is not like that does not have the intention for voter outreach for Trump. They brought him on to ask him about issues that people care about. Nobody cares about the Hunter Biden laptop. Nobody, as bad as child sex trafficking is nowadays, and it is a genuine problem, nobody cares about that. They care about COVID, and that just happens to be something that makes Trump look incredibly weak. That's why he's always complaining about the unfair media, the lying press, as Hitler would call
Russia
it.
collusion. Well, one, you're implying that that's what we have said. So, here, stop poisoning that well. Is real, but the image, videos, and text messages that have released are false. Hang on. Diversion.
What the wait. The text messages are false? No, they are. The Russia investigation led to like 700 indictments and like 20 credible investigations.
Yep, I'll say people have gone to jail over the Russia collusion. People have gone to jail over it. Let's see, where is it at?
Why are we focusing? Okay.
Has a 99.7 survival rate. Alec?
You know what? You're right. Just let them die off. We can't stop all the deaths, so why even try to stop any of the deaths, you know?
We all know Trump is going to win, but he is a very bad person. No, I don't really think he's going to.
I don't know if he's going to win.
I'm not sure. I mean, we don't know. I don't know for sure. But if I was gonna wager money, which, oh shit, I gotta do that. I gotta figure out how to bet on I gotta figure out how to bet on the election. We're gonna do that on Wednesday. We're gonna bet on Wednesday. That one American, where are you at? Help me out. He's a better. He's a betting man.
I'll tell you what, if you want to put money down on one thing, I wouldn't bet on the outcome of the Electoral College, but if you were to bet money on Biden wins popular votes, that's got to be like a guaranteed payout. I want to see the polls 4 years ago, a week versus now. 2016 is not 2020. It's not. The material conditions do not align whatsoever. We have a Democratic candidate who isn't universally hated by both sides. We have a pandemic in which the incumbent president has failed miserably to contain. Public opinion of him is at an abysmal low, and even if you account for the secret silent majority that Trump relied on in 2016, Biden still comes out with 362 electoral votes.
Let's see. Yeah.
I have 50K on the election. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to put on the election. You're sitting on everything the media tells you.
Yeah.
What are you implying?
That's a common diversion tactic. Like, oh yeah, what you believe was told to you by the media. You didn't independently come to that conclusion. You were told that. Like, yeah, okay, dumbass.
Like, have you read what Roger Stone has said to Trump? Have you read what he actually says to the press? Whenever his sentence was commuted and he got out of prison, which, by the way, was completely illegitimate use of power, blatant corruption on Trump's part and Stone's part, he got out of jail, and literally, like, the first media statement he made is that Trump should seize power if he loses the election.
Streaming to you, slowing this down. Great. Yeah, if you're gonna give me points if you're gonna disagree with me in chat, at least say something smart, because that was pretty fucking dumb. Could NPR survive without government?
Yeah, dude, like literally every conservative I talk to, whenever I say something to them, one, they'll divert to Russia. They'll say, well, what about Russia? That was all fake. Who told you it was fake, huh? The president?
Yeah. Because it wasn't. Because it wasn't. People went to jail over it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because according to you know, state attorney generals and you know, federal courts, bunch of people got arrested for it. So, oh, it's the deep state. It's the deep state. That's right. It's the deep state. All right, let's keep chipping away at this video here.
Absolute low IQ. Hang on. Trump had 4 different executive orders starting on January 3rd to August 21st. Limited travel. Dems, including Nancy Pelosi and Biden, said he's being racist and again, your list. Oh my god, dude! Hang on. Talk about where you get your info, dude. You're a parrot. You're a fucking parrot for him. You literally said exactly what he says. You parroted. Like, you know, like, Polly want a cracker? Polly want a cracker? Like, yeah, you fucking parroted shit right back. That's exactly what it says. No.
Do you want to chat about it in Discord?
Yeah, would you like to hop on Discord and talk about it? Because I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, he stopped the thing for China, but like most of our COVID cases came from Europe. Sure, okay. Where's my Discord? We'll watch a minute while we're here. Let's see. Bada boom. Oh, that's not it. Bada boom. There you go. Add my Discord. We'll watch that.
New plan will happen.
But
And
will.
we won't do anything, will and is. We won't do anything and no plan unless we have pre-existing conditions covered.
With little more than a week till the election, the president has been barnstorming the swing states where the polls are tight, including Florida, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and here in Michigan.
Can you characterize your supporters?
Yeah, I think I can. People that love our country more than anything else, and they like to see our country thrive.
But do you think that when you hold rallies and encourage people to say, lock her up, the way you...
I don't encourage them. They say it.
And you
Hillary
enjoy it.
Clinton,
You
let
don't
me
say
just tell
don't
you,
do
Hillary
that.
Clinton she deleted 33,000 emails after she got a subpoena from the United States Congress.
But why is this still an issue? Why do
I think
people...
it's an
They're
issue.
not going to vote
To
on
me,
that.
it's an issue.
She ran last time.
Excuse me, when they say lock up, it's not me. They say it. It starts...
Hey, did you add it? I would say add. Hey,
They
add
say it.
Add my Discord up there. You can chat with us.
Discord's sitting right up there. That's the thing. I am personally, and I think I speak for Cody as well, we are in the camp of people that believe that you as an influencer are very much responsible for the way people interpret your message.
Yeah, I
Can you
saw it.
send me an
What's
invite? It's not
yours?
working.
Type it in chat. I'll add it.
Leaders and influencers are very much responsible for the way their messages are interpreted. For instance, if you are saying inflammatory and hyperbolic things, sometimes fabrications about leaders, say governors, that lead to your followers actually going out and conspiring to kidnap and kill them, that's kind of concerning. That's concerning rhetoric on your part. So effectively what he's doing here is he's saying that I don't care what the repercussions are for the things that I say. People listen to the words I say because, you know, he has the best words. People listen to what I say and they act on some of those words. Some of those people act on those batshit crazy things that I say. I'm not responsible for that. And are you just bouncing from left stream to left stream arguing? Man,
Oh yeah,
maybe.
SJW9000 would be fun to argue with. If you want to argue with him. Hang on, motives. All right, Alec. So I think what tends to happen when I add people to our call is it turns off your camera and mic. I think you just have to turn your camera and mic back on. Okay.
Yes, I'm going to be.
Yeah.
I'm prepared right now. I'm ready to deal with it. Either that or my Discord just
No,
crashes.
that's because that's
so
what it
we'll see
seems
what
to be. Because
happens.
it doesn't. You seem to not leave the call. You just seem to, you know, just your mic seems to turn off. Oh yeah, wait. So,
Okay,
yeah,
we'll
Motive,
see what
you ready?
happens.
Prepare to be censored by the right.
SJW 9000. Yeah, I would like to reach out to him. We were talking to him the other day. He was in our chat. I would like to reach out to him and have a conversation with him, like we did with DeCobbs.
See? Hang on one sec. Let me get Alec back up on screen.
We might have
no,
technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Am I
you're
here?
I'm just
Can you
getting
hear
back
me?
on screen. What's up? What's up, my man?
Okay.
What's up, man? How are you?
Okay.
What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Just chilling. Waiting for my clothes to get done so I can go to my girlfriend's house. And I seem to be looking at this new channel. I don't know if this channel just popped up, politics, but it's like for whatever reason on my front page. So I'm just kind of looking through that and just chatting with people, man. Just getting a feel for people and, you know, trying to get their ideas and figure out, you know, why they think like they do.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's all.
Yeah, the politics subsection has been around for a while. Actually, Twitch is kind of they kind of don't like whenever people talk about politics on it because it doesn't generate
Love
a
you,
lot of
Joey.
ad
Thanks for
revenue for
following.
them. So
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never even considered looking at politics on Twitch before.
well, apparently some people do. We're starting to get a little bit of a following here. So
Nice, good for you
we've
guys.
been on for about thank you. We've been on for about 2 months. So first of all, thank you for choosing our stream to listen in on. And
Well,
what's on your mind?
Well, I mean, I just obviously I seen you guys watching the video from 60 Minutes of Trump, and you know, I like I personally don't like the guy, that much, but I think he's doing a pretty good job overall. I have some disagreements with, some things he's done. I agree with a lot of things he's done, and I just don't think he's that bad of a guy. And I think he gets a lot of unfair treatment from the media. I think he gets a lot of unfair press. I think the media could probably be a little bit more honest about how they report him, because when you're looking at the media, which a lot of people do, that's where most people get their information from, whether it be their phone or TV. Everything we see about him on the left, which is 90% of the media we see is left-leaning media, it's negative, right? And I can believe the media to a certain extent, but it has to be fair. You have to report on good things he's done, bad things he's done, and not everything he's done has been bad. He's done a lot of good things that we don't hear about just because he's not supposed to be there. He was never supposed to be there. It wasn't the plan that they had. Hillary was supposed to win that election, and somehow he got in. I don't even think he wanted to be in, honestly, and I don't think he wants to be in for another 4 years. But based on what I'm seeing around my town, what I'm hearing, based on the amount of money I have on the election, I think he's going to be in for another 4 years.
Okay, so that gave me like a good sense of like where your political standing is. So I assume like you're a Republican, but not like all in on Trump. You're not like you're not like a Trumper. Okay,
Trump was not a Republican. He switched parties several times. The
Right.
reason I think I like Trump is because when he started running for office in 2015, which I thought was a complete joke, just like a lot of people did. It's like Kanye running right now. I mean, nobody believed for a minute that Kanye was going to be president, just like nobody believed for a minute that Trump was going to be in office. He's a real, he's a real estate guy. He's a business guy. He's TV. I mean, people know him from TV, and that's why a lot of people dislike him, I think, is because his personality is cocky and kind of, he's just got that personality that, you just don't think you'd mesh with. But I thought it was a joke, and I took the time to look into his background, not business-wise, but to look into his background as far as going back 20, 30 years, looking at interviews he's had with different people, different, like Oprah and The View, and, all sorts of different hosts of TV shows. So he's been saying the same thing for the last 20, 30 years, as far as China essentially ripping us off, and the border wall, and just a lot of it. So, his story is always kind of meshed with what he's talking about now, which is not something we typically see in politics, because politically, most representatives, whether it be Republican or Democrat, tell us what they want us to hear. And Trump doesn't do that. He doesn't sugarcoat anything that he says.
Well,
He says it if you like it.
I agree with you to an extent, except for whenever you talk about like, yes, he was a Democrat back in like the early 2000s. Then he switched to independent, and then he became a Republican. With his policies, there's no shadow of a doubt that he is a conservative Republican. I would go so far as to say a hyper-conservative Republican, especially because some of the stances that he took in 2016, he came off as like, yes, that populist outsider, excuse me, that he wasn't part of the establishment. He was going to come in, he was going to drain the swamp, and effectively what he came in and did was pretty much uphold a lot of those conservative narratives that a lot of the neocons have been pushing for a while, like your George Bushes, your John Bolton's. He did exactly what any other Republican president would have done. He came in, gave a bunch of CEOs cabinet positions, and kept pursuing the interests of the elite and the wealthy.
Didn't he fire John Bolton?
Eventually.
He did fire John Bolton after they had, like a personal falling out. Like, I don't know if you read his book, but a lot of people in Trump's inner circle don't like him.
It's hard to believe a lot of what these people are saying, just because there's a reason they were fired.
Yeah, they did. They just did.
Well, I don't want to say there's a reason. There's a reason they were fired, but whenever it comes to Trump, it's literally a matter of whether or not you pledge like undying allegiance to him. Like, there's a reason that he's getting rid of
100%.
a lot of these like inspector generals that are like independent oversight people because they're not loyal to him.
Well, no, so my opinion, and we don't know yet. I guess we're just gonna have to find out. But my opinion, a lot of people that are leaving, specifically people that Trump seemed to get rid of, as far as like people in the FBI and generals and all of these other guys, are protecting other people within the government that, in my opinion, have a lot of maybe a lot of background as far as what's going on right now.
Wait.
I can't talk about Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
Comey was one of the
Yeah.
first ones he's fired.
No, well, he fired Comey because he was investigating Flynn. He was right. Comey was an Obama guy. They opened up an investigation on Michael Flynn because he had a contact with what's his face, Representative Kalinsky or Kislyak, the Russian ambassador to America, and he lied about having contacts with him before the Trump administration, took power.
Okay, and what was the charge they had against him?
Yeah, it was like.
What was the charge they had against him? They had him committing perjury, lying to the FBI under oath.
Okay, so they had him in a lie, but did they have any like collusion or anything like that, where they were exchanging like information, money laundering, anything like that?
Well, I mean,
money. No, because it was perjury. For Michael Flynn, in that case, yes, you can say that there are genuine connections from Trump's, not only his family but his administration to Russia regarding like the release of the DNC emails.
Yeah,
like they're like documented cases of like Donald Trump Jr. and people within the orbit of Trump talking to Julian Assange about releasing those emails after that Access Hollywood clip was released.
So with the whole, do you guys believe that the Russia collusion was an actual thing? Do you think that really happened? Do you think there's some kind of collusion there between Trump, his administration, and Russia to get into office?
What do you mean by collusion? I would say,
the investigation.
I didn't say about. I would say because I wanted to say like maybe not to the level of hey, like maybe not like the you do this, I'll do like that kind of level of like straight up corruption, but like there's something fishy that like when people are asking like a lot of Trump's top aides like, do you have contacts like with Russia, and they say no, and then we find out later they actually do and they lie about it. Like it just, to me, I have my personal thing is like I feel like if you won't provide the information, like you're hiding something. Like I just think like I like transparency. Whenever I ask somebody something, they tell me. Like like it makes me wonder, whenever they asked if Michael Flynn has connections to Russia, why didn't he say yes?
Well, and it depends. I mean, we were obviously not in that room when they were questioning him, or the court, wherever he was. I don't specifically know where he was, but we don't know the questions that they were asking either. I mean, we don't have transcripts of that. What we do have transcripts of, though, is everybody that essentially came out and said that Trump and his administration are involved in Russia collusion. They have all of those people under oath in court, which those documents were released last year, or well, actually early this year. I'm sorry, and it's over, I don't know, probably 3,000 to 4,000 pages long, which you guys can read and go through, of all of these people that have been talking about for the last 3 to 4 years, Russia collusion this, Russia collusion that, we have this, we have that, all of them saying that we have absolutely no evidence of any kind of collusion. Not only that, we spent $32 million.
Well, there very much is evidence of him colluding with people that are in the orbit of Russia, because the entire impeachment inquiry was initiated off of a call he had with President Zelensky of
I said
Ukraine.
basically how it is, like, just to clarify, is like it's that Trump had Russian connections. That's like we know that he had maybe not him himself. People in his inner circle had a lot of connections to Russia.
Yeah,
we don't know what he got out of it. We don't know why he did, but he did, and a lot of them were lying to try to cover that up. So like that's the sketchy part about that has a lot of people worried.
And what I was leading to is Robert Mueller, the investigation of the Russia probe, cost taxpayers $32 million. It was over a 2-year investigation. They essentially released absolutely no information proving any of this. They didn't have records of phone calls. They didn't have any text messages, emails, nothing. So if that was an actual case and they actually had contacts with people in Russia, wouldn't it? If you were trying to prove a case in court, it'd be good to have some factual evidence. Everything that we've seen in Robert Mueller's investigation was written by Robert Mueller and his team that he had working on it. None of it had any factual information from emails, again, text messages, phone calls, call records, nothing. So,
Well, the,
so with-
the intent the intent of the Mueller investigation was not to provide evidence. It was to provide like say like a predication to a possible investigation. And what we got from the Mueller report is I should specify that we didn't actually get the Mueller report. We got William Barr's redacted synopsis of the Mueller report. Like that's still under wraps.
No, so Trump released the full Mueller report in its entirety early this year as well.
In its entirety, or William Barr's?
In its entirety, not William Barr's. In its entirety, you can actually go to. I can link you guys after we're done talking about it. With
report on the investigation. Let's see, it's on the justice.gov. How big is this?
There's a ton of information I have saved. I just have to go through it.
Pages. Oh baby.
Yeah, there's a lot of information.
Oh yeah, but look, it's all redacted. Yeah, a lot of this information's all. Yeah, I'm looking at the one on the justice.gov and it's all redacted.
I'll link you to the one I have. So one of the things I find very interesting right now, right? So we have this whole story, this whole narrative for the last 3 to 4 years that Trump's colluding with Russia, and that's the only reason he got into office. It wasn't because the people voted for him; it's because Vladimir.
It's not a matter of him. If you're just speaking to him getting into office, there is no shadow of a doubt that Russia did spread misinformation in American social media circles in order to try to, bolster support for Trump. Like that's 100% that happened. The impeachment inquiry is a matter of him, coordinating with Russia to do that.
Okay. Where is that evidence that actually happened, though? Do you have any what did they do specifically to do that in order to?
You can look it up.
Because Russia's been running. Well, they've been running bots forever, dude. that's like Russia's specialty.
Okay.
Is like running bots on social media.
Yeah, a lot of people said Facebook. I've never seen it add anything promoting Trump on Facebook.
Well, it's not ads. It's actual users that go in and join right-wing circles and spread disinformation about Democrats and stuff about Trump, like blowing up QAnon conspiracy theories, stuff like that. That's all a result of Russian disinformation.
Gotcha. So one of the things I find really interesting right now, though, is again with this whole Russia collusion thing, which we were fighting for 3 to 4 years. And again, supposedly Trump and his entire circle and Republicans are against him. Not all of them, but a lot of people think that there's a lot of Republicans against him. Typically vote on everything that he does, including justice that just got confirmed today, as well as
Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah. Which when you look at her history, I mean, she's a clean slate. She has absolutely nothing. Besides being a conservative, she has nothing against her.
That's the point. I think her views will do tremendous harm to the country. I'm sure she has a clean record. I'm sure she never committed crimes, and I'm sure she has a stellar legal career.
Well,
but
she upholds the law, and I don't think she lets politics get in the way of that. I think that's why she was picked, and her record
it's
shows.
It's not a matter of her upholding the law; it's a matter of her conservative interpretation.
That's what a Supreme Court justice does. It's not upholding the law. They give their honest interpretation of the Constitution. That's the job of a Supreme Court justice.
Yeah. And she's a constitutionalist, so she believes in the Constitution very much.
Well, she's an originalist.
Yeah, which I mean, no, it's basically.
That's not how she described herself in court.
I don't care how she described herself. I'm talking about how she like the type of people that she's among is they want to interpret the Constitution. They try to put themselves in the head of a founding father. How would have they interpreted this? Is that's their way of looking at it. Not how is this relevant to now? It's how does this apply then?
Yeah. Did you guys see the article today that just came out? I know a few different left-leaning media outlets were talking about it with the whole Hunter Biden thing, where supposedly Vladimir Putin came out and said he looked into the Hunter Biden case and he doesn't find anything illegal or damning on his laptop or anything like that, and we shouldn't be concerned about it at all. It's interesting to me that the media is telling us, which left-leaning media has been telling us for the last 3 to 4 years that Trump colluded with Russia, and now supposedly Vladimir Putin is on their side, and Hunter Biden didn't do anything wrong, and he's clean as a whistle. Why?
Well, I don't think. Nobody in the intelligence community, nobody in the general electorate is looking to Vladimir Putin's opinion regarding like the Hunter Biden.
But then, but why would the media be reporting on it?
Hang on.
Why wouldn't the media be reporting on?
Why?
What? Wait. Okay. So wait. Start over.
Yeah.
What's your claim here?
So essentially, if you and you can look this up. I actually seen it earlier. I think it was on New York Times or maybe CNN. I can't remember. I think it might have been CNN. They were talking about how Putin looked into Hunter Biden's laptop and a lot of his background and didn't find any damning evidence of any kind of I guess you'd call it collusion or any crimes committed on Hunter Biden's part, which is interesting to me that CNN and the New York Times, which is left-leaning, would make this statement using Putin when they've been telling us for 3 to 4 years now that Russia was colluding with, or we were colluding with Russia to get Trump in office.
Putin's.
That seems kind of weird, right?
Well, this is just them reporting on something that happened.
Actually, if you want to throw my interpretation on this, I was gonna say Putin is like the most Machiavellian person I've ever seen in my life. This dude will do whatever it takes to. I don't think he has a part. I don't think he really cares who's in charge of the United States. It's just that he wants to make sure that he can still maintain power no matter who wins. I feel like that he probably already has. I mean, because I think he's. I mean, well, Trump said it. You know, they're on decent terms with each other. If I could speculate, because that's really all we can do, because we're not in the head of Putin. That like maybe he's trying to like not get wrapped up in the whole Hunter Biden conspiracy theory in case Biden does win, that he doesn't want to start off on the wrong foot, with the president of the United States. Like if if Biden does win, because because again he does whatever he's a I don't know he's like probably one of the smartest people on the world stage in terms of like his just raw chess playing ability, I guess. Like so I have no idea.
Well, Putin's very ballsy, and again, he's one of those guys that kind of says it how it is too. He doesn't have a filter. I actually admire the guy a little bit because I think he, I just think the guy has balls, and it takes a lot to. I mean, he's been a world leader for a long time, which is because they live in a. Is it socialism that they? I mean, is that what Russia is? Is it communist a little bit?
No, Russia's very capitalistic.
Are
their
they capitalistic?
Their market structure is identical to that of America.
I don't really know a whole lot about their market structure. I actually dated a Russian girl for a little bit, and she was fucking beautiful. But besides that, that's all I know about it.
They do have some very attractive
what's
people
that Family Guy sketch they did where it's like the drop the coat, like because everyone in Russia is either really ugly or really really beautiful. So it's like, all right, drop the coat, find out what you get, Anyway, I wanted to ask you, what do you think? Actually, because we talked about your political predilections. What do you think? What do you think we are? Because I feel like you've been here a little bit before, but what do you think? Like, what do you get the idea?
I've actually not just came across you guys. I didn't know what you guys were leaning until I started listening to you guys talk about the interview. What do I think you are? I would assume that you're probably voting for Biden. You were probably supporters of Bernie.
But we're I was saying, dude,
Damn.
big brain guess. No, but we're socialists, okay? Yeah, so that's what I was saying.
Okay.
It's like, what's that?
That's perfect.
All right.
I said that's perfect. I mean, again, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, thoughts, and that's what makes America great. Is we're able to talk about things like this. And a lot of people can't talk about it nowadays because they just get frustrated, mad, upset.
But whenever you're talking about whenever you're in chat, and you're talking about us just getting our narratives, fed to us from the media. Like, do you think that I don't know, CNN, NBC, CBS, do you think they promote a socialist agenda?
I think the Democratic Party right now is very socialist. AOC.
Wait.
Well,
go ahead.
Okay, so the Green New Deal, for instance, Biden said in the last debate that he wants to rid fossil fuels and emissions by 2025. He wants a social structure of healthcare in the United States. I don't necessarily think that's bad, but I think it leads to a lot of bad things.
Well, one, it doesn't really lead to a lot of bad things. What Biden is proposing is to have a public option, and that is by no means Medicare for all. Medicare for all would be eliminating insurance, and the government comes in and pays your medical bills because
Yeah, yeah.
again, they run on the platform that Medicare, healthcare is a human right. What
Yeah,
Biden
yeah.
is offering is an affordable public option, which is by no means Medicare for all. It's not a
So
socialist
it's kind of like
way of thinking
Obamacare
whatsoever.
again.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fair. It's
I was gonna
kind
say
of
because
go
Obamacare
ahead.
wasn't really a public option. It was just a restructure of
yeah.
some of our healthcare practices. It's basically just telling insurance companies they can't deny you for pre-existing conditions, and then that everybody is required to have some kind of health insurance. You know.
And if you don't have health insurance, they charge you per year. Yeah. So if you can't afford health insurance or you don't have a job, now you also have to pay the government because you're not.
Well, no. Well,
paying
it's
for
not.
healthcare.
It's not that easy. It's like not that simple. It's not like you get fired from your job, you instantly got to start paying healthcare. Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah,
they give
it's
you a
just that,
certain,
like,
a certain
and then,
time.
but
yeah,
like, and then
you've
it's
done
if
that.
you can't, they do have some. They have like they can help you find a plan or something. I
Yeah.
don't know exactly. I don't know. I get my insurance
Yeah,
through my
well-
employer. I have no idea how any of it works.
Yeah. One of the things I find hard to believe is Biden's been in office for 47 years now. He was a big backer of Obamacare. He helped develop Obamacare. He's also written into laws the 1994 crime bill, which put hundreds of thousands of black men and women away for.
went over that on stream.
Okay, well,
So yeah, so we actually went over
Did you?
that. Now, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. Well, actually, because I mean, it's funny that right wingers like are talking about it now because typically, like the left, because like even though we are socialists, we're still voting for Joe Biden. It's the right move.
Yeah.
Or we believe it's the right move to beat Trump. But like, there's a lot of like left wing people that are like, no, we still won't vote Biden, you know, because of the crime bill and stuff like that. So like, we wanted to dunk on those people, like talking about the crime bill because they bring it up a lot. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason I talk about it, real quick, just so I can get this out of the way, the only reason I talk about it is because everybody wants to say how great Biden is for the black community. When you can't be great for the black community when you're
just the sheer act of not being Republican is going to offer a net benefit to the black community, and I think it's ridiculous for somebody like Donald Trump to get up on stage and accuse Biden of being anti-black because he signed the 1994 crime bill, which passed the Senate, by the way, I think like 95-5. It had massive bipartisan
well,
support.
100%.
Most Republicans today would support like
it was all of them that supported during that time. 100%, I agree with you. They're actually looked into it pretty extensively. But it's not just the crime bill. It's also things that he said in the past that he's on camera saying in the past that if Trump said Trump would be, we'd still be talking about it to this day if he said it 20 years ago, and we're not talking about it with Biden, and that's where
like
the media,
the super predators.
No, and that's only that was actually Hillary Clinton. But
Hey,
he might have said it
real
too.
quick.
He might have said it
Can
too.
you
I
look
don't.
at-
I
can
don't
you look at the
specifically
screen
know
real
that
quick?
one. Yeah. Go ahead.
So this is like the thing we were talking
Yeah.
about is like basically since
What screen am I looking at?
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Is it
So
Twitch?
since
Okay, there's a
you're good.
commercial. 1 minute.
yeah, I'll explain
I had
it
to
like
pause.
leading up to. So basically, what started the mass incarceration of Black Americans was the beginning of private prisons. Like that was like the real start of it, and that started happening in the late 70s, early 80s. So if you look at like just not even incarcerated Black Americans, just incarcerated Americans in general, it's from the early 80s is when it spikes. So if you look and like you see where 1994 is, it was already on a significantly high upward trend since the beginning of the 80s. So like it really didn't do anything to increase incarceration rates. I mean, I'm sure it obviously didn't do anything good. Like
Where's that cited from?
Like let's see, where is that? I forget where that's from. I mean, do you want me to find a different graph saying like the number of incarcerated?
No, you're fine.
Oh,
I just want to know where it's from. That's all. I haven't really looked into that.
Yeah, I'm
part
sure
of
if you
it.
just look to number of incarcerated Americans. Let's see if I can find another graph. Yeah, so basically you can see it's from the early 80s. When was this here? Yeah, 1978 is when it really starts taking off. And then 94 is like here. So like yeah, pretty much any of these you look at, like it's the same trend. So it didn't really have
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it didn't do anything to help that, you know. I'm sure, but like it was already on a significantly high upward trend, and it had a lot of things in it that like what was it like because we were bringing a lot of people that were saying that because Bernie Sanders voted for it, when he was in the Congress in the 90s, because it had the Violence Against the Women Act. It added a lot of protection against for for battered women and like women's shelters. I think. Like some of the bad stuff it did do, and I wish people talked about. It got rid of a lot of higher education for inmates. It created more death penalty offenses. Like that's the stuff I find wrong with it, not like the fact that it increased.
Yeah,
I don't think it did a lot. I mean, sure, like the Violence Against Women Act was pretty good, and then I don't really care for the assault weapons ban that it did. But like, yeah, that's kind of the stuff that I'd rather talk about with it than, because
I gotcha. So going back to the healthcare thing with Biden, I mean, again, he was a big part of Obamacare. I mean, he helped write all of that stuff. It cost taxpayers $1.7 billion to make that website, healthcare.gov. If Obamacare was so great and he's so against, and everybody's so against Trump canceling it, removing some of the parts of it, why would Biden come out with his own health plan, and not just cite Obamacare and try to make that better than what it is right now?
Because again, Obamacare was like a first step. It's not about, Medicare for all isn't about just having like an individual mandate. It's not about pre-existing conditions. It's not about having a public option. It's literally about the government using taxpayer dollars, using the general, the funds society contributes to the government to literally care for people's health, to care for its citizen health.
Yeah. So essentially tax dollars pay for it.
Yes. Yeah. Like any government project.
Okay. Have you guys looked in COVID? And here's my I don't really I have a lot of people in the healthcare field that I specifically know, like my aunt and some other people. I've talked to COVID extensively with a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds and a lot of people that have opinions on it. And like I was saying in your chat when we first started talking about it, I don't think we should be focusing on a virus that has a 99.7 survival rate when you look at the numbers. And going back to healthcare in general, when you look at socialized medicine, such as Belgium and Italy, which have socialized healthcare, they have far less cases than we do, but far more deaths per their cases than the United States, and they have socialized healthcare.
Well, that's because whenever the COVID-19 like gets into your country, because I'm sure we all remember it hit Italy hard, but it was for a very acute amount of time. They had their single spike, and that was it.
And
the thing you have to worry. Go
ahead. I'm sorry. No, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was gonna say the thing you have to worry about with COVID is how much of your elderly population it gets to. So whenever you have it infect, like say like circles of like nursing homes, people that are hospitalized, people with comorbidities, you're going to get that massive death spike. Whenever within America, it's not limited to just those elderly circles of people. It's literally just everybody's getting it.
Okay. So I was talking to some people earlier. I actually have a business where I manage essentially 400 people. We've had one person get it, and he had a sore throat, itchy throat, and couldn't smell anything for about a week. Quarantined for 14 days. Essentially, what they're doing, the information I'm getting from a lot of people that work in the healthcare field, because we have to remember, as soon as COVID came out and the media fueled the fire, creating this, and it was new. I mean, I don't disagree with what they did. I mean, obviously that's their job to report on the news. At the time, we didn't know a lot about COVID. We didn't know how deadly it was. We thought there's gonna be millions and millions of people that were gonna die from it. We didn't know how to react. Some people didn't react correctly, some did. But the media created this. They put fear into people very early on, which again, I wouldn't say I would do any differently.
I mean, nobody
because
knew
I don't
anything.
know.
Yeah, so nobody
we didn't
knew
know anything about it.
Yeah,
exactly. But now we do know, the facts, which are all listed on the CDC website and by doctors, which, when they come out with reports and studies, they continually get censored because it's not the mainstream narrative that they want it to be.
Wait, what's getting censored?
A lot of doctors that have come out against some of the lockdowns and wearing masks and stuff like that.
Are you talking about that new doctor that Trump just appointed?
No, No, I'm talking about probably over 100 doctors that have been removed from YouTube and removed from Google searches and stuff like that have come out and essentially said that masks aren't the best way to deal with COVID, and the lockdowns aren't doing anything more than hurting people.
That's because the mainstream scientific consensus says that yes, masks do help. And if you look at a country like Japan, who instituted small targeted lockdowns and mask mandates right off the bat, and people actually listened to them, they were able to keep their death count under 1,000 for months. Whenever America was just spiking over, like 100,000 at that time.
Hey, do you have any of
we
these
have to think
doctors'
about it
names?
logically
Do you
too.
know
We
any
know
of their names
hospitals.
specifically.
I'm sure I have some of it saved. I had a lot of the videos saved on my YouTube, but they were all removed
I
and
would say,
deleted.
because if you give me one of their
Unfortunately,
names, because I can't. I mean, I could just Google like doctors against COVID restrictions, but like it's.
Yeah, I can definitely cite you some stuff on it. I'll create a thing and I'll link all my information that I'm talking about. This is just specifically from memory of what I'm talking about right now, but fuck, now I lost my train of thought.
Hey,
give me 1 minute here. That's what I was gonna talk about. Yeah, so
bidet. Sorry, talking
so
chat. Good job buying a bidet.
Oh, you're good. Really interesting thing that came to me. So I decided to do a little research on code myself, and a few months ago when this all started like taking place, actually probably like three months ago, not even that long ago, kind of when we were on the downturn for a little bit.
COVID cases.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in Arizona. I live in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
And so it was really interesting to me. I was looking at different countries and different cities and different states around our country, and specifically Arizona, right? So Arizona has a population of just over 7 million people. They got a population density of 45 people per square mile. We did lockdown. We did do masks. We did everything we were told to. We shut down gyms. We essentially, just like every other state, it was all controlled by the government. Not government, the mayors and governors of that state on how they wanted to go forward with COVID. In Sweden, with a population of over 10 million people and a population density of 64 people per square mile, they had never did a lockdown, never forced masks upon anybody, and they have less cases and less deaths than we do in Arizona, and we did all the right things. So there's a lot of construing information when you really look at it from not a left or right side, but just in the center kind of, hey, this doesn't fucking make sense. Why is this like this, right?
Well, I mean, I would have to look into Sweden, but there's an undeniable strong correlation between states lifting lockdown restrictions or hosting some kind of super spreader event, and then the 2 weeks subsequent to that event, they see a massive spike in numbers, like reported cases and deaths. Like whenever Ron DeSantis of Florida lifted up his initial restriction and opened all the bars, that was popular. You got all the videos of people at bars. Cases skyrocketed. They had to shut down again. They had to say social distancing at bars. Wear a mask out in public, and people still don't do it. That's why it's still a big problem in the United States.
Is it referring to the Great Barrington Declaration? Because that's what I found. So it's a movement started.
What is that?
Yeah, it's up on the screen if you look on your. The declaration has been signed by 6,000 scientists and medical experts, as well as 50,000 members of the public. So a couple. They're citing some British ones because this is the BBC. So they say keeping the lockdown in place until a vaccine is available would cause irreparable damage, with the underprivileged just disproportionately harmed. So I don't think this is against the lockdown in general. It's just saying like the lockdown without anything to help lower income people. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't know that.
Because if it was a lockdown and we still got a stimulus per, we all got like $1,000 a month. Like, they're saying it'd be fine, but just shutting down and not doing anything to help a little because where does it say here? Oh yeah, because like usually those people are like the more, I don't know, vulnerable people, and they're the ones that are going to be kind of like they're going to be people that have, like, because like I don't know, I work a white collar job, like 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 whenever like the pandemic hit in March, we all just got an email saying, "Hey, work from home until further notice." You know, like so I basically just took my laptop. I sit here at my desk and I work from here. You know, it wasn't a huge deal for me, but like for a lot of people, like it was a, you know, a massive thing. So like there are people against it, but not just they're not saying that it's like not real or that the lockdown is bad. It's that they're saying that we shouldn't lock down without anything to help people affected by it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's saying it's not real. I think it's real. I just think it's a less.
Oh no, I'm not saying you're saying it's fake, but there's a significant amount of the population still that thinks that COVID is just some kind of like democratic fabrication to hurt Trump.
I think it's far overblown. Again, when you look at the statistics, I think what we're seeing with the deaths, I don't think that's accurate reporting. I think, and I'm not just thinking here. I'm basing this off information I get from people that work in the healthcare field. They are definitely reporting deaths. You know, if you're dying from cancer, and it's been said by a lot of different people in a lot of different interviews, if you're dying from cancer, right, and you're 70 years old or whatever, however old you are, but you test positive from COVID, they're going to list that on the death certificate as a COVID death. And they're reporting these 200,000 deaths they keep touting are including all of those that have taken place, which has happened quite a bit, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, cancer is considered a comorbidity. Like people with comorbidities who contract COVID and then die, you can't list that as a comorbidity death. They didn't die of high blood pressure. They didn't die of cancer. The people that are in terrible condition from cancer, say like stage 4 terminal, like liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, something. If those people are on their deathbed and they contract COVID, do you really think that comprises such a large portion of the reported COVID deaths that you could just write off the entirety of the reporting system?
Hey,
well, I do, because if you look at the deaths from cancer and heart disease and
turn
stuff.
Your camera off and turn it back on. It froze.
Yeah, it did. So.
Sorry.
There's actually a report on the CDC website.
Hang on a second, guys. My Discord just crashed. Hang on a second.
Uh-oh. There he is. All right.
There we go.
Go ahead. Sorry if I interrupted.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. There's actually documentation on the CDC website showing exactly what I just said as far as people that have died from COVID with pre-existing conditions such as heart issues, heart failure, cancer, diabetes, multitude of different things, which people die from every year. And we obviously in America we have an issue with obesity, obviously from the food we eat, and we have an issue with heart disease, which is higher than anywhere in the world from the food we eat. And it wouldn't be very hard to list some of those deaths as COVID, especially when you're testing for COVID when anybody enters or exits the hospital.
Well,
go
ahead.
I had a good friend of mine that got really sick. Turned out to be pneumonia. Got really sick for like 2 weeks. Got tested twice before going to the hospital by a doctor he went and seen, which he's been seeing for a very long time. And that was within 2 days he got tested twice. Got tested at the hospital, which was 2 days later, because he was having breathing issues from obviously, well, not really breathing issues. He passed out in his house. But they rated it as COVID. And that's what they treated him for, even though it was pneumonia. So
was it pneumonia induced by COVID?
It wasn't. No, it was pneumonia, and they listed it as COVID. So there's another report that came out today which was interesting to me. It was New York Times, which again I don't typically follow because I feel like it's very left leaning. They were talking about COVID and how they're actually testing for COVID and what they're doing to find COVID. And they said in this article, I actually have this link available. I can link it to you guys if you want. That 90% of the people testing positive, the huge increase of cases that we're seeing, have such a small amount of COVID like traces that they probably won't get sick and they're not able to spread it. That was really interesting to see from the New York Times.
But I mean, it's a lot of the testing isn't done as a matter of whether or not these people are going to get sick. It's just reaffirming the case that it is in fact spreading, and we don't want it to hit these vulnerable populations: the people with comorbidities, the obese, the people with hypertension, the elderly.
So these people, obviously the elderly, because the majority of deaths are elderly folks. I think there's only like 14,000 deaths between the ages of 0 to like 45.
Yeah.
Which isn't a whole lot at all. Not saying they should have died, I'm not saying I know how they died. I think a lot of it again has to do with pre-existing conditions. But if we know that it's the elderly being affected, we know that 99.7% of people that get COVID survive. One, why are we wearing masks? Why are we locking down and shutting down businesses? And why aren't we just looking out for the people that might have issues with it and
Hey,
watch out for them?
Jay, can I interrupt?
a lockdown.
Just to
go
make
ahead.
sure. So I was looking up because I want to see if they're like what specific strain COVID can cause pneumonia. So I mean, I would say it
No,
wasn't like they
100%, I know
were
that.
wrong
That's-
and there's a good shot if somebody gets pneumonia around this time with all this going on it is it is a very common symptom of COVID. So it wasn't a grave miscalculation for them assuming so.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it is, but a lot of information that we had in COVID early on was the testing accuracy of COVID and how they were testing and going about testing it. And essentially,
Well,
what
that's
they
also
do is
because there wasn't a national testing strategy set in place by the federal government, and there still isn't.
okay. With the testing though, essentially what they do is they take a swab. Have you guys been tested before?
I have not.
I have been tested.
So they shove the thing down your nose to get a swab of your
But it wasn't like the Q-tip swab. They gave me an actual the throat cultures, how they're just wooden sticks. That's what they gave me up my nose. That was an early on test.
Oh wow, gotcha. That does not sound like fun.
Oh no, it hurt. I felt violated.
Now I swear I had it though. I mean I do because I had I had the worst flu of my life at the beginning of March. I don't know, it hit me out of nowhere.
I got really sick early in the year too. It was in December I got sick for a week.
Yeah, it was the same thing.
Terrible.
It was a week. I woke up Friday. It was a Friday when it happened. I woke up a Friday morning and I was like, man, I kind of had a little minor headache and my throat kind of hurt a little bit. But by the end of the day, I couldn't walk. I couldn't breathe. I could barely keep my eyes open. But my head hurt so much that I couldn't move. It was I was like that for the entire weekend. And then I took off just Monday and Tuesday because I get plenty of 6 days. So I just took off 2 days Monday, Tuesday. And then Wednesday I was I felt okay to go back to work. Just because. And then within that point, 2 weeks, they closed everything down anyway. And I got sent to work from home anyway.
Yeah. I definitely didn't have any breathing issues, luckily. But my whole point about the COVID thing is, I think we're overreacting a lot for what this thing actually is. I think they initially said everybody's going to get it, locked down for a certain amount of time, and it's going to go away. And now they're saying, well, it can come back every year. When you look at the statistics and everything that's going on with it, I just don't think we should be reacting in such a way. And I think this whole lockdown and not going to school and not going to work has killed far more people, or will kill far more people than COVID ever will in its entirety. Because essentially what you did is you've created this fear. I mean, people are, right now, I mean, in Arizona specifically, I mean, I deal with people all day long, and people are afraid to even look at somebody. I mean, let alone come in within 6 feet of somebody. So these people that are in fear and, masked up, that haven't left their house in a very long time, look at people as the virus, and they are so scared of it that if something happened to them where they had to go to the hospital, they wouldn't, because they don't want to catch COVID.
Okay, well, the philosophy behind a lockdown is that it already spread. We don't know to what extent it spread, so we have to lock down as to prevent any further spreading and needless deaths, because it's out there. We just don't know how much it's out there. If a lockdown was done right, which it wasn't, we wouldn't have seen such a massive spike in cases. And if people would actually wear masks and actually listen to their local governments and the CDC safety
our
standards,
frequent viewer ZZFly made a great point. The first lockdown was designed to prevent a surge of hospital patients that would overwhelm the system. That was the main reason we did the first one, just so a bunch of people didn't get it and and overwhelm hospitals. That was the purpose of the first one.
Yeah, I remember that.
And here's the thing too: if you look at the case graph, if you look at the death graph, we did a really good job, especially whenever it was spreading in New York and California and Washington. Washington was one of the first states to actually have an outbreak, or at least a reported outbreak. We actually did, once those safety standards were instituted and followed by the population at large, we did a really good job at flattening the curve and the reported cases going down. But then we lifted everything up. Trump tried to further this whole narrative that we need to open everything back up, and the cure can't be worse than the sickness itself. And then we saw a massive spike, and then we started to go down again, and then rinse and repeat, same narrative. Now we're seeing literally day by day the most cases America has seen since the beginning of the outbreak.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that 100%. But again, when we're fighting a virus that has a 99% survival rate, why are we locked down? When have we ever locked down for any kind of virus in the past? I mean, H1N1.
Because we don't have a vaccine for this.
And why do we need a vaccine for a virus that is 99% survivable?
Because just because you can't stop all the deaths doesn't mean you shouldn't try to stop some of them.
Okay, so why lock down and force everybody to get a vaccine if some people don't want to get a vaccine and they don't see a reason to?
Well, if somebody doesn't want to get a vaccine, then they're just not going to be able to, do things like send their kid to school, get a job, because then you're just putting other people in danger.
Okay, so you're putting other people in danger from COVID, but you can put other people in danger from other things that you might have.
Right, but you get vaccinated for like the flu. You have your seasonal flu shot. You have
But you're not forced to vaccinate for the flu.
Vaccine.
And the flu is more deadly than COVID. You do know that, correct?
Well, the flu isn't as transmissible as COVID.
And if you look at the statistics on the flu in the last year, there has been absolutely no flu cases. There's been like hundreds of flu cases, which is kind of a joke considering it usually kills about 60 to 80,000 people a year in the United States.
You're saying there have been no flu cases this year?
I'm not saying there hasn't been any. There's been a far less than what there usually is, because if 80,000 people die from it, there's millions of cases in the United States every year.
We also have been taking a lot more health precautions this year to begin with too. So I mean that could kind of skew the numbers a little bit. Like this year everybody's mostly been staying home, washing your hands, like wearing mask. Like I mean I feel like that the flu would be down in general just because of that. So I feel like that data might get skewed a little bit.
Yeah. I haven't worn a mask besides when I'm at work anywhere since this whole thing has started, and I haven't had it. Nobody's got it. Supposedly, again, my friend that had COVID, I was in contact with him very early on when he was sick. So were probably 20 other people. He was at work. Nobody got it. The narrative that they're spewing with this whole COVID thing and trying to scare people.
No, they didn't get sick with it. That's the thing. They didn't get sick with it.
Okay. Yeah, so over 20 people didn't get sick with it or have any symptoms. So
you're a random sample of, I'm sure, people in your general age group that aren't necessarily vulnerable to it.
Yeah. Have you had COVID?
I got tested for it. I'm not sure because if I did get it, I wasn't symptomatic. There was one case where I thought I was symptomatic and then I tested for it and I tested positive.
Are you a germaphobe?
In general, kind of, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, me neither.
I mean,
I don't worry about it. I mean, I shake everybody's hands. I'll if somebody coughs on me, I'm like, whatever, who cares?
Well,
I don't worry about other people's germs because
since the pandemic started, I haven't been going around shaking people's hands, and I've worn a mask. Well, mostly because everywhere I go, I mean, requires a mask anyway. But yeah, but honestly, it's just because it doesn't wearing a mask doesn't bother me, so I'm I don't really care, So I'm not gonna throw it because there are some people when I was at a barbershop, some old guy came in and was throwing a fit about not wearing a mask because and they were giving him a paper one. He was like, "Oh, I forgot it at home," and they're like, "Oh, well, here's one just to get a haircut," and he was like, "I'm not wearing it," and they're like, "Okay, well, you're not gonna get your haircut then." So I feel like I'm not. I feel like it's dumb that people throw a hissy fit about it, but it's not a huge deal for me, so I'm I might as well, and because it could help, let's say I am carrying something around, it could help, but so I might as well, Yeah, as Justin Bohannon said in chat, it's a civil thing to do for others, yeah. It's just, I'd rather err on the side of caution if it doesn't bother me or anything, And it doesn't restrict my breathing. I work out in a mask, so it doesn't bother my breathing or anything,
Yeah. No, I got you. I don't. I think it'd all be over if we just stopped all going along with it. I mean, if they say that everybody's gonna get it, then let's everybody gets it, and let's just deal with it at that point.
Well, if everybody,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
herd immunity, and herd immunity hasn't happened yet. I think like 4% of the American population has been exposed to COVID-19 or whatever. If that's the mentality you have, just let everybody get it. 1% of the entire American population is a lot of people. That's a lot of dead people.
It's like
Well, it's like 0.03%, but
And then on top of that, you have also the the hospitalizations. You're just going to completely overwhelm the broken medical system that we have in place right now. Like the economic damage from just letting this thing run rampant, especially the acute economic damage, will just pale completely overtake any fears of economic damage done by a lockdown.
did you guys see that women's march the other day in Washington? It had over like 200,000 people there. No? Do you think that can cause
I'm
COVID
sure it
cases?
can, but I feel like
Well, if it's outside and there's masks, they're definitely going out of their way to try to minimize that.
I was gonna say if they're taking proper precautions, like they're all wearing masks and like sanitize their hands, like I don't think it would be a big deal,
Yeah.
Because like that was the thing with like a lot of those protests that were like popping up like in the summer. Like most of the people at those protests, like were wearing masks. They weren't like I mean, obviously they got crowded together a little bit, but they weren't like too as crowded together. They tried a little bit to stay apart. So like we really didn't see too huge of a COVID spike from it, just because people took some precautions before going out. But like after like all those big rallies where like nobody was wearing a mask, like we did see big spikes after that because people just didn't give a shit about any of the precautions.
And then what about like Walmart and grocery stores and stuff like that, where people wear masks but they're constantly touching things and other people are touching things, and obviously it's not getting sanitized. I mean, so very few cases, if any, have been reported of COVID
Did
cases
the
coming
virus
from.
not spread through surface contact?
They said it did
does?
for
No,
a
it
long
does.
time.
Oh, I thought
Yes, it does.
Or like how long does it take for it to go? I forget what it was because I remember I read something about that.
Yeah, and during when you're sick and you go to work before COVID, right? Before COVID, we'd go to work sick. I mean, if we didn't feel good, we'd still go out and do stuff, go get food, go do this, go do that, go get medicine for ourselves. Why didn't anybody care about staying home and protecting people
I'm
at that
sorry,
time?
during what I was reading.
Because it's the flu. It's not COVID-19. This isn't a new infection. We don't know a lot about COVID-19. We don't know how. We have a
do know
good
a lot
sense on
about
how
it.
to prevent it. What?
We know a lot about it now.
Like enough to develop a vaccine to protect against it?
Well, do you think
Because
wait.
You do realize that if the entirety of the population didn't get the flu vaccine, it would eradicate us. It would completely overwhelm the medical system. People would die by hundreds
then why
of
hasn't
thousands
it
per
before
year.
we had vaccines?
It has. That's the thing. Diseases were really bad back then.
Then why are we
People
still
got
here?
smallpox.
Why are
People
we
had
still here?
polio because we developed a vaccine for it.
Hold.
Gotcha. So it's not
hold
just
up.
your
Are you
immune system
unironically
working.
like advocating for like that we should all just become immune? Like we should just let people die off that don't survive like disease waves? Like is that what you're?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this narrative, I'm trying to explain to you guys the narrative that we're being told right now about COVID has completely been false from day one. And it's not as serious as we're making out to be. And people are just going along with it because they want to do the right thing. And essentially what they're doing is they're actually doing the wrong thing in conjunction, because we're essentially, by doing what we're doing right now and just playing along with the wear masks, don't go to work, stay home, social distance, we're killing people essentially doing that right now. We're closing down businesses, we're hurting our economy, we're killing people because they're killing themselves from suicide, drug overdoses, drinking, people not going to get checked out for issues that they're having with cancer, tons of stuff right now. So in turn, we're, by supposedly doing the right thing, we're actually killing people right now.
Okay, and why doesn't the federal government interject and try to offer some kind of program to support those problems as a result of the lockdowns?
They're trying to open everything back up and get back to normal.
But opening everything back up will just lead to more spreading and more deaths.
Well, supposedly New York did it the best, right? That's what you're saying. They had the best system in place for COVID.
I'm not saying they did it perfect, but I'm saying yes, they did a really good job. They instituted really strict
over
social
30,000
distancing measures.
They had
because they have a lot of people.
Well, they have 10 million people in New York.
That's the point, yeah.
Yeah, and Sweden has 10 million people as well, and they only had 5,000 deaths. New York had over 35,000.
Hey, hold up.
And they
You're referring to
mandated
a densely populated city versus like an entire country that's kind of spread out. Like New York is it's like one of the most densely populated cities in the world. Like it's yeah.
Well, let's
I'd
look
say
it
if you
up.
look at, I think if you look at deaths per capita, like per 100,000. Here, I'll pull it up. Let's see. We're getting close to 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's getting late. My girlfriend
Yeah,
just called. She's probably
we're gonna have
wondering
to
where the
call
fuck
it
I am.
off here in a little bit.
My biggest thing, the reason I wanted to come on and talk to you guys is to figure out what about Trump that you guys didn't like, and obviously, I think I already know. He's a racist. He's a bigot. He's the problem. He's the reason why COVID's so bad. I mean, is that essentially going in the right direction?
Sort of.
I mean, I don't want to limit the scope of COVID-19 severity to Trump. Authoritarian leaders all over the world have done a disastrous job at containing the virus. Brazil, UK.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think when Trump
Deshaun.
first started
Mwah.
with
Thanks
his
for following.
executive orders, he put four into place. Four executive orders limiting travel between China and hotspots that had COVID on January 31st, and he did four up to August 21st, which was not very long ago. During his first and second one, you had Democrats saying that he was a xenophobe and racist for doing such. And you had Nancy Pelosi in Chinatown saying, everything's fine, come on down, COVID's no big deal, we're all going to be fine, everything's great. So
I mean, I'm gonna need a citation on the racist and xenophobic thing because I can't seem to find anything on that. But in between the travel ban from China and the Europe travel ban, what did Trump do in between there to do anything to prepare for the virus?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I was looking this up for you.
What did in between, right, the China travel ban and the Europe travel ban? What did the Trump administration do to prepare for an incoming pandemic?
I mean, was he expecting to have a pandemic during his 4 years of office? What should he have done? What would you have done?
Well, it's the duty of the federal government to be prepared for something like that, to make sure that our stockpiles are going to be nice and replenished, get ready for any kind of impending disaster.
Like they did during H1N1?
Like during H1N1, yes, H1N1 wasn't that bad. I don't know why Republicans use it. I was a child.
Okay, so there was over 60 million deaths from H1N1. You do know that, right? So it was pretty bad.
Wait. In the United States?
No, not in the United States. Worldwide. Let me look that up. Let me make sure I'm right.
I was gonna say the United States. That's the next fucking bubonic plague.
That's a third of the population.
Yeah, that's. Let's see. So same thing. 65 and older people were affected.
Right.
Oh, hey, if you look at I got the COVID case tracker up here. So the deaths.
It was not deaths. It was 60 million cases that were tested positive. 274 hospitalizations. And I mean, so one of the things with H1N1 that everybody fails to realize is during that whole thing, we never did any kind of testing. We never forced any kind of mask mandate. We never did any kind of lockdown, and they didn't know how bad that was going to be either. They had no idea. They just kind of winged it.
Well, the thing about the H1N1 is that it's not an upper respiratory it's not a severe acute upper respiratory syndrome. It's just a variant of the flu virus.
SARS outbreak in 2002?
What about it?
That was another virus, was it not?
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't seem a little suspicious to you that we're doing lockdowns and enforcing masks and doing all this stuff for a virus that has a 99.7 survival rate? That doesn't seem a little odd to you?
Again, you're just ignoring transmissibility here. Like it's so easy to catch it.
But if it was so easy to catch it, how have 400 employees that I work with not caught it?
I'm breaking my pledge because typically I don't talk about COVID. I grill when it comes to COVID. So, but I wouldn't just say so. Like, yeah, you're saying 99% survivability, but like that's like with the procedures we have in place already. Like if our medical system would have been overloaded by all this, and hospitals filled up like.
Well, they said it was. They said it was. You remember they were saying that the ICUs were at 100%. Well,
they were in some places.
Yeah, to 90% because that's where they make their money.
In some places. I was gonna say in some places, yeah, but like I mean, we would have had I mean, but think of how much more they would have been think of how much more that would have been overwhelmed. Like,
Well, and here's one of the things too. I mean, obviously, I go based on actions versus what I hear. Or, obviously, Trump is more. He talks out of his ass sometimes, but I like his actions because he does a fairly good job if you actually look at his accomplishments and what the media doesn't tell us, unfortunately. Such is the case with. I'm not going to get into that right now, but the people that control the narrative, or the people that control the media, control the narrative. They control people's thoughts and emotions, and in my opinion, I think this is all for show. I mean, I really think it's all for show. I think it's a real thing. I think people are getting sick
well,
from
like,
it. I think some
why?
people have died from it. I think the 200,000.
Yeah, why would they make a
Well,
show
why?
out of it? Like,
Okay.
you
Because
know?
what problem do we have right now?
I don't know. You tell me.
What's the problem in the United States? Why are you guys voting for Biden?
Well, I mean, because I'm a socialist. Like, I don't believe. I'd like. Yeah. So I mean, that's. I mean,
Okay.
if you're, I mean, you ask I guess you want to ask another Democrat. Like, it's just some
Okay.
average liberal. I mean, you could get.
Well, yeah. But most Democrats nowadays are socialists, which is why AOC.
No, they
they're
are
not.
not.
No.
No, they are not.
Well, most of the ones I've talked to are. Okay. I don't know specifically. I mean, I don't go out and just say, "Hey, are you Democrat? Let's talk." But everything in my opinion that's taking place right now. I mean, for the first time in 4 years, we've had a president who hasn't got us into a war. He's made peace deals with the Middle East, which has never happened in hundreds of years. He's
Peace deals that have never happened. Like, are you referring to the one? Are you referring to that agreement between what is it, the UAE and Israel? Is that the one you were talking about?
I could be referring to that. I could be referring to all of them that have happened recently.
Well,
I mean, there's a lot of things Trump's done that the media doesn't talk about, and we all know damn well that if that laptop was, if we were told that that laptop was Trump's or his son's or one of his sons or daughter's laptop, the media would be all over it.
All right,
I was
man.
say
do you have
yeah.
anything else
We're
you
kind of
wanna,
diving
on
in
here at the end here?
like his kind of conspiratorial territory, and like there I believe.
Yeah. Anything outside of what they tell us is conspiracy.
Because I was gonna
know,
say
I get it.
because I was gonna say
I'm
because
good
you know
with
how
that.
much like dumb bullshit like comes out about like the Trump family every day that like nobody bothers to cover because it is dumb as shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was.
No, I don't. I think they cover everything.
No, I
on
was
them.
saying.
But my main point is if you start thinking for yourself and you think outside the box, it's a conspiracy.
No, because
So
okay,
just-
because I was.
that's all.
Before you go,
Wait. Okay.
I would say, I just want to say before you go, I would say because like I kind of hate that framing because like I mean, where do you think I get my news from?
I'm assuming you get your news from CNN,
Hang on.
MSNBC,
Do you think
New York
anybody
Times.
under the age of 60 watches network TV?
Well, you probably look at articles and stuff on
No.
CNN, do you not?
Not really.
No. Where do you get your
well,
information
I mean,
from?
typically it's filtered through I don't know, just like headlines. Like that's typically where it comes from. Like, and then I usually just like trying to look up the story to see what happened. I mean, because typically, I mean, as you see, as when I go through and I look up a story, I'm usually reading through a bunch of different pages about it. I don't just go click the first one and see like, oh, this is where we get, you know.
Listen, guys. Listen, we can talk about our personal vetting methods for news all we want. I mean, do you have anything else you want to tack on here at the end?
I would say yeah, because what's the one thing I brought up? I brought up a New York Post article earlier. Yeah, like I'll read things like if I feel that like because I don't care what the source is. Hang on.
Okay.
Because I don't care like what the source is. Like for me, it's more or less like where the actual like where they're citing it came from. Like if I go to like see an article on Fox, like I'll read an article on Fox as long as I see like where it came from and like where it came from is legit. You know what I mean? You there? Did he leave?
Even there?
Oh, he accidentally. He accidentally answered.
No, he's
sorry.
cool.
Actually, good chat. Hey, yeah, you were very friendly. I appreciated the conversation. I was gonna say, yeah, it's not a lot. You know, not a lot of people have the gonads to hop up and talk in front of a group of people like that. So I appreciate you coming up and hanging with us for a little bit. We've got a lot of content through there. Damn. All right, let's see how the Onion. Yeah, for sure. Take care. The question is,
For sure. Yeah, thank you.
from
Thank
Hunter
you for
Biden's
talking.
business deals? I don't know. Plus Bahrain, plus Sudan. Yeah, okay. So I want to say with those, like, I mean, all these countries want to be friendly within the periphery of the United States, and basically, if you are Israel and you want to get along with the United States, you got to be friendly to the UAE. You got to be friendly to Saudi Arabia. If you're the UAE and vice versa. So like, I don't think.
Wait, no. You said if you're Israel and you want to be friendly with the United States. Israel and the United States are already tight as they can be. If you're the UAE and you want to be friendly with the United States, you got to be friendly with Israel.
We got the evangelicals here that are hardcore repping Israel out. But yeah, no. If you want to be
hardcore, like that, like that meme I sent you. Have I ever told you about the Israelites?
So yeah, there's nothing historic about any peace deal brokering or anything like that. But like, I mean, we had the Iran deal, but apparently it was the worst deal ever in the history of deals. Because I'm a business guy and I know deals, and it was a bad deal. Let's see. Yeah, it's getting close to 11. Getting close to wrap up stream.
That was dangerously like that wasn't like straight up COVID denial, but that was like on the razor's edge.
That wasn't COVID denial. It was just like I don't know. So he was talking about a lot of sources. I was waiting to see where he dropped them sources.
ZZ Fly. The question is, did Joe Biden get financial benefit from Hunter Biden's business dealings? The supposed viable source that is Joe Biden's leaked hard drive, the only evidence that's in there that even remotely connects Joe Biden to any kind of business dealings of Hunter Biden's is that, hey, maybe Joe Biden met with a CEO this one time.
And Biden used his name to get business dealings.
Like, yeah, that's it. Like, if you have a problem with that, if that's the bar at which you are going to set your corruption standard for politicians, then that completely disqualifies every single member of the Republican Party.
60 Minutes interview discussion. Honestly, it was just a lot of like of the reporter of whatever her fucking name was. I don't know. She looked like this one fucking ghoul from Fallout. I can't remember what her name was. I'll look it up. But yeah, like just her asking like you're saying like, hey, you did this, and he goes, no, I didn't do that, and she goes, okay, well, I'm not gonna fight you on, and it goes to the next point. It just repeats the same fucking thing.
We didn't get to the point where he walked out, but that's I'm sure you've all seen it. Anybody in chat? Did anybody object to a turning off of the stream?
Here.
Because if not, it's been a good stream. I appreciate all of you. You all know that. I'll let you know if anything changes.
Here, she looked like Bobby No Nose from Fallout. That's every time I kept looking at her face. That's the only thing I could see was Bobby No Nose. Yeah.
Great.
Get a sense of humor. All right.
Oh. All right, guys. Good stream. Good conversation. Hit some good topics. What are we doing? Do we have anything planned for Wednesday yet? We should try to reach. We should try to reach out to SJW, see if we can get him on.
We'll see. We'll see if we can send someone the next week or so. But yeah, no. Do we have a plan for Wednesday on Monday? What are you kidding?
Sometimes we do.
Oh yeah, like an interview if it's something big, like a big fucking, Anyway,
making Twitch great again, you guys are. Yeah, hey man, we're trying.
Hey, I need to hydrate.
We'll get there one day. Well, you just watch. So within the next year, we'll be like Hassan size. Just wait.
I just need to get as buff as him. I need to get as buff as Hassan Piker. We're actually that's how we're gonna be. That's how we're gonna be bigger than him. We're gonna be as buff as him, but there's gonna be two of us. Double the leftist buffness. All right. Well, thanks guys for watching.